Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event.
Oh, yeah!
Are you ready?
And now, broadcasting live from MainEventMadness.com and brought to you by Spreaker, it's Main Event Madness. Our wrestling, your sports, simply madness. And now, here are your hosts, Al Merriman and John Curry.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Alfonso Merriman, or the Cuban sensation Alfonso Merriman, with my host and partner, Crime Theory, John. 12 minutes late. It's Thursday. It's live, and it wouldn't be Main Event Madness if we didn't have technical difficulties. How the hell are you?
I'm fired up. Let's do this Chautauqua.
We're going to be very... This is week 2 of our new time slot. We've been pimping it out. Thank you all for your support, your love, your kindness, and all of the hate mail. We love it too.
We got hate mail? I mean, aside from our website getting hacked twice.
Yeah, it's
twice.
Both websites, by the way, which I got to take care of tomorrow.
But first off, for everybody besides the ass backwards America, happy.
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday.
That sounds about right.
Oh, and I'll give myself, for the first time ever, I'm going to give myself the damn.
Damn!
There you go. Yeah, I wish I had some control over the audio, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's a very good thing that you don't.
Episode.
It's a good thing that you don't.
Yeah, probably it is. Let's just be an hour and a half of damn and hump day music.
Whoop whoop!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we continue, we've got a jam-packed show. We got the Miami Herald's...
Oh, yeah!
Okay. Reporter Scott Fishman, and we have an interview with them coming up. We want to thank him for joining us on the show. Be sure to follow him, and I forgot his Twitter handle, beg me, but I know he's on Facebook at Scott Fishman, and I'll get that Twitter handle up here momentarily, if you bear with me.
At SM Capital Fishman.
There you go, folks, and I know he interviewed Matt Hardy yesterday, so be sure to follow him and check that out. He has a great interview up with Matt Hardy, and they talk about a few different topics, so you want to go check that out. He has the link on his Twitter account, SM Fishman. Again, SM Fishman, or you can check him out on Scott Fishman on Facebook. So we want to thank him for joining Main Event Madness. We got a jam-packed show. The NBA playoffs are finally put together, and for the first time in 7 seasons, the Miami Heat, my team, are not in it, but it's okay. Next year, we're going to come back and tear shit up.
Hey, by the way, I gotta tell you about that. You know who is?
Yeah, it's amazing. I'll tell you, this year's been all screwed up. I can't believe the
Brooklyn Nets are in the playoffs. Third or fourth year in a row, I believe it is. I think it's the 3rd year in a row.
And it's going to happen again where they're kicked out.
Hey, more than likely.
More than likely. But, nonetheless, we're going to talk a little bit about that playoff picture. And it's interesting. I think the brackets I already have the brackets set up. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Daniel Bryan, health issues. He's all screwed up again, apparently.
Oh,
we're going to
so
go into
fucked.
a little bit of TNA's pay problems. And my cold, by the way. Apparently either I'm sick, I got sinuses, or whatever. So
Main Event Madness just can't catch a break. Because I was sick for like the last week or two, and now Al's sick. And yet the craziest thing is that we're what, like 1,500 miles apart?
It took a while, but it traveled. Shit does travel. Shit does travel down, right?
Apparently, it traveled through the internet.
I'm sorry.
I said apparently it traveled through the internet, and I just
Yeah.
saw these. I guess you could call them brackets for the playoffs. We are so fucked.
Uh,
We are so fucked.
oh man, and I thought I had them up, and I don't because my computer decided to crap on me. But we'll talk a little bit about that later. As long as I just don't want LeBron James to win it, and that's the only thing. I don't want the Cavs to win.
Cavs Celtics. I don't like the Celtics' chances.
I just can't believe the Heat. The Heat's sorrow. You know what? It's like the day I had yesterday. The Heat's season. It's just a sad season filled with a lot of drama. So a lot of injuries, and we'll see what happens next season for them.
That sucks more than a Sunday night hooker. I learned how that sounds, or what that's like from Al, by the way, guys. You know, all those lonely nights about 10 years ago in Hialeah, not a fun time. Well, not for Al. For the Sunday night hooker, maybe.
Oh, jeez.
No, I'm not being serious either to anybody listening.
Yes, thank you for that. All right, so we're going to talk. You know, I missed most of Monday Night Raw, an account that I didn't give a shit.
I mean, it was a recorded show, so a lot of people didn't tune out if you saw the ratings. Only like 370,000 or 3,700,000. No, what was it? I think it was only like 3 million people tuned in. So nobody really cared because, you know.
It's always
it's
all those
UK shows
and all that. We don't give a shit about that. All pre-recorded. Who cares? I mean, this has been a weird build to this pay-per-view.
What a god-awful pay-per-view.
I'm going to tell you what.
What a god-awful pay-per-view.
No, I'm intrigued about one thing.
What the hell? Kiss My Arse match? Is that what you're intrigued by?
What the? I can't believe I read that 2 minutes ago.
No, you know what? We need to break out another sound clip.
And I have because that sounds like a good one.
What the hell?
Yeah, I don't understand what they're doing with that at all, actually. But
what the hell is a fucking Kiss My Arse match? Like that sounds almost.
You know what that is, guys?
Is Sheamus gonna start doing the Kiss My Ass?
Well, this is Mr. McMahon saying this shit worked in the '90s. Let's just bring. I don't know. I don't want to see any of these men's asses anywhere on TV.
Wow, I got the card right in front of me for Extreme Rules, man. It's riveting how extreme this pay-per-view is. John Cena versus Rusev in a Russian chain match. I don't know what the fuck a Russian chain match is.
Talk about being racist.
Right. I mean, you know what though? You got to hand it to them. At least they're being racist towards the Russian and not towards the New Day. I mean, besides the fact that the New Day's gimmick is racist to begin with, but you know.
I didn't want to get back on the New Day because it's a stupid, one of the dumbest stables ever, and I've seen a lot of stupid ones out there. And what else is on the card?
Daniel Bryan versus Bad News Barrett in a singles match for the Intercontinental.
The only match I want to see.
In a singles match for the Intercontinental Championship. No stipulation, nothing to it. We got Randy Orton challenging for the WWE Championship against Seth Rollins in a steel cage match, and if Orton uses the RKO, he'll be disqualified. How the hell do you get disqualified in a steel cage match?
Well, they added the stipulation. That's where that contract signing happened on Monday.
Oh my god, it's so stupid.
It's stupid, but
it's like a chairs match or a TLC match with nothing hanging above the ring.
But yeah, that's pretty.
And then you got Nikki Bella versus Paige, what should be a no holds barred match. I think that would be pretty good. But it's just a singles match, and then we got a last man standing match between Roman Reigns and Big Show, which I know which match I'm going to take a nap during. And Dolph Ziggler versus Sheamus in a Kiss My Arse match.
To think you were at WrestleMania just a couple weeks ago. Oh, shit.
What the fuck is a Kiss My Arse match? We're setting an all-time record, by the way, for the amount of F-bombs starting the show off.
Well, I know. Let's set the record straight. You're setting an all-time
Tell me they're not doing this.
You
A Kiss
are
My Ass.
setting an
No.
all-time record on the show.
Which I never drop F-bombs like this.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on.
Tell me they're not.
You know what it is? You're a little bit cocky because Brooklyn made it into the.
Nah, tell me they're not doing this. The Kiss My Ass match that they had during the Attitude Era where the loser had to kiss the winner's ass. Tell me they're not doing that match. Because I just looked up a Kiss My Arse match on Wikipedia, and it brought me to Kiss My Foot match. And a similar variation of that match was the Kiss My Ass match.
Which was the Kiss My Foot match? Because I remember
it was Bret Hart versus Jerry Lawler and Jerry Lawler versus Michael Cole.
Oh, that's right, Jerry Lawler versus Michael Cole.
Where they had to kiss the winner's bare foot. God help us.
All right, so
a chain match. So a chain match is a strap match. Okay. How the fuck are they supposed to wrestle with a chain on them? Oh my god. And to your point, and to think I was at WrestleMania 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean,
Oh my god. Well, and then there's Payback. And then there's TNA wanting a TNA network for probably 99 cents a month.
Is that true?
I mentioned it to Scott earlier, and you guys will be able to hear that at about 11:30 tonight. Yeah, I saw a report over the weekend that TNA is interested in doing their own network.
What, like a actual
like
streaming?
the WWE network.
Well, you know, that rumor has come up a few times. I think they even tried a similar thing before, but it really didn't go
I'll
off.
pay 9 cents a month for a TNA network.
No, I didn't even know. What I do want to watch, and I send out a congratulations, whatever the hell you want to say.
Wow, did you mess that one up? I also had a few cranberry vodkas tonight.
True, whatever. Congrats to Tommy Dreamer and the Hats of Hardcore for getting a television deal. I feel like, John, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
I feel like you and I should create our own wrestling promotion and just pitch it to any fucking station out there. Because apparently they're giving these fucking contracts like hotcakes.
You know what, though? I like it.
Every other day, somebody else is getting a new TV contract.
I like it, though, because... Ooh, and they're going to be in Toronto, Canada. I might go to that. I was just looking at House of Hardcore's website, which make sure if anybody's going to their website, you put .net, not .com. Because, you know, houseofhardcore.com, let's just say, putting it lightly, it's not safe for work. I'll leave it at that.
That's funny. I can't believe I actually went with the name.
But I'm excited for that, especially if there's some way we can get the channel here, because I don't get Lucha Underground like you do. I don't get the El Rey Network. I get Lucha Underground, but it's all in Spanish. So if I was you, I'd be fine, because you understand Spanish, like fluently Spanish like that. Like I'll sit there and listen, be like, oh, he said hi. Oh, he said okay, I lost it.
Oh, that's funny.
But
I mean, you know, there is a lot of promotions coming up, but it's like there's no way anybody could be scared of the wrestling business right now. I mean, there's so much going on with it. It's unbelievable to me.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, you look at WWE, and they're taking pretty much a giant shit on their product, except for NXT, which is starting to take a giant shit on its product. And then you got TNA, which is a living piece of shit for product. And then you go to Ring of Honor, who's trying to become something that's not a piece of shit for a product.
You know, Ring of Honor, they announced that the Bullet Club is coming back today. They announced it, and I mean, Ring of Honor.
And that's how to not be a piece of shit.
I'm sorry?
I said, and that's how not to be a piece of shit. You got the Bullet Club.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it is good if you're a wrestling fan that there's so many options out there now. What it still, begs the question: who's going to be number 2? And I don't think we have a definite answer there. I think Ring of Honor has some great ability there, but I am very intrigued to see where Tommy Dreamer takes his company. Tommy Dreamer is one of the most respected wrestling people out there, and people flock to him. He pays his wrestlers well. He's always been respected. I mean, he's doing. I feel like out of everyone I've seen out there, Tommy Dreamer has created this House of Hardcore brand, and it's in a sense reminding me of ECW. You know, they have that passion, those fans that are there, and they're putting on a great product with well-known names. I am mostly intrigued by House of Hardcore just because the way that branding is happening. There's just something about it that attracts me from all
And he knows
promotions out there.
Which, by the way, you got to hand it to Tommy Dreamer for going back for like 3 days worth of TV tapings and doing nothing but pimping out House of Hardcore the entire time.
Oh, yeah.
Using
that was
TNA.
A couple months back you're talking, right?
Yeah, using TNA to get more word out about House of Hardcore. And, I mean, if anybody's got a decent shot, TNA had their chance and they're seemingly blowing it. Ring of Honor's got a chance, but Sinclair's not doing anything to market them, anything to get them in better time slots. They're like Sunday nights at 11:30 here. I think on either My Network TV or CW. That's not going to get your product more eyes. You need to get them more marketing. You need to get them better time slots. And Tommy Dreamer has seen what the dumbasses at WCW did. Tommy Dreamer saw the bad decision-making that Paul Heyman made. No, I'm not going to call him a dumbass because he's not. He's seen... Everything good?
Yeah, everything good. I'm sorry, guys. Keep on.
He's seen the bad decisions that Vince McMahon has made. Lord knows he's seen the bad decision that Dixie Carter's made. And I think he's able to learn from that. And, just taking the fact that he's had 8 big shows for House of Hardcore, and already House of Hardcore is turning into something of a cult following and a real legitimate threat to be a number 2 company if they get the time.
I mean, just the fact, think about what he has under his belt. I remember right before this last show, he sent out a press release, and I put it on the site. I think he either favored or retweeted it off of Wrestling News Report, noting how much money his company lost, which was, I believe, in the range of $700,000 because of all the people that illegally streamed his show. And that's what he knew of. So he almost lost $1 million. I
didn't even know he made $1 million.
I'm sorry?
I said I didn't even know he made $1 million in his career. And I'm not even trying to be an ass.
No, he's done well for himself. I mean, he's done really well. So that means there's people that know of him. So now think about this. Now he's got Fight Net?
The Fight Network.
The Fight Network, which also tweeted us out today, which is pretty cool.
Which is the same network as TNA, by the way.
Which blows my mind, which is freaking great for Tommy Dreamer. But now think about it. Let's just say 6 months. Think about this, John. Let's say 6 months from now or 12 months from now. They're doing decent ratings and they're holding their own in Canadian television, which Canada has always been a melting ground for a lot of wrestlers. And
big wrestling fans, especially out towards the West. So.
Well, yeah, and half of these guys, most of you guys don't know, like Chris Jericho, I mean, obviously Bret Hart, the list goes on of Canadian wrestlers. Just imagine now they could use that and say, look, in this period of time, come to an American television network and say, this is what we're doing in Canada. This is what we did before Canada. This is what we're doing in Canada now. And this is what we want to do with your network.
If you want to... Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm saying that he's going to have a lot of meat to his company now, which is great for Tommy Dreamer.
You want to play what ifs and want to over dramatize it a little bit? Imagine hypothetically that that House of Hardcore is freaking blowing it out of the water ratings wise, and they're killing it on the Fight Network in Canada. Watch Turner decides he wants to throw wrestling back on TNT.
Remember, the Turner does not own that
Turner,
thing anymore, though.
but Turner also wanted to get back into wrestling a few years ago.
Let's face it. I don't even know if he's alive at this point.
Yeah, he was like 85 years old during the Monday Night Wars, and that was 20
He
years
was
ago.
85 during the Monday Night Wars. I mean,
And that was 20 years ago.
All right.
Does that make you feel old knowing that the Monday Night Wars started 20 years ago?
I didn't even want to talk about it. That silence was me being scared and realizing how old I've become.
Al is officially 30!
30 and still living and learning. You'll never stop learning till you die.
Oh, you're living all
Let me
right.
tell you, last night I had a dream and you were in it. And no, it was not a sexual dream at all. But
Damn, so would it be on houseofhardcore.com?
No, it was not a part of that, but it was weird, and I don't know why it came to me, but I actually dreamt that I was at Mania with you guys, and then I woke up, I'm like, son of a bitch, it was on the dream. Like, it was one of those dreams you didn't want to wake up for. I know that I forced myself to go back to sleep, because I wanted to stay at the damn stadium, at whatever it was, the Levy Stadium, whatever the hell it's called. So, that was my dream last night.
I would wake up so depressed. I'd probably be damn near suicidal.
Yeah, especially after the day I had yesterday, I was like, oh damn, and this dream. So yeah, it was kind of funny or whatever. But speaking of WrestleMania and your experience, and I don't know how I segue into this, and I'm skipping another thing here, but
shit happens.
JR's one-man show might be or is coming to the WWE Network. Reason why I say this is a segue is because John was able to go meet JR.
Oh, that was awesome.
I haven't spoke to you about this, and I don't care if you did before. I want to hear about it. How was this show? And was it interesting? Was it all that you thought it would be? And how was it meeting Jim Ross?
Meeting Jim Ross was awesome. He was really nice, really laid back. He probably had a few cocktails in him. You know, hats off to Joel, which, by the way, guys, Wrestling's Rope Break should be coming back next week. Check out Facebook.com/Wrestling's Rope Break for the latest on when they'll be back next week. Figured I'd get that plug out of the way. Yeah, hats off to Joel, though, for getting us the tickets, because we got the VIP tickets, so we got to go in early. There was like 100 VIP people. And we got to meet JR, talk to him for a few minutes. He was able to sign, or I got one autograph. Matt got like 3, because he had him sign a WrestleMania program for WrestleMania 9, which was both JR's first WrestleMania and Matt's favorite WrestleMania. So, and he also had some stuff for a friend of ours, Kyle, who, if you guys remember back during the Christmas show, he appeared on that. Had signed some things for that. But he took a picture with everybody. He actually took a group picture with me, Joel, and Matt. So that was cool that he gave us a couple pictures. But his stories were hilarious. A lot of stories about Ric Flair's penis.
What?
A lot of stories about Ric Flair's penis. JR said verbatim that if no one was fair to Flair, at least God was fair to Flair. He opened it up. He opened up a show basically talking about how Ric Flair's penis is pretty much like a baby's arm holding an apple.
What? I get. That's hilarious.
And then a lot of us were shocked when he introduced his guest.
Oh, that's right, Samoa Joe. Right?
Yeah, because it was pretty funny, because a lot of us thought it would be like Stone Cold or Shawn Michaels, because JR had just done something with Shawn Michaels for the book or whatever, so we were like, oh, it's going to be Shawn Michaels, or it's going to be Stone Cold. And all of a sudden, the guy's like, man, Jim, you're looking like you're really sweating up there. Is it hot here? JR's like, yeah, I'm fucking sweating up here. And the guy's like, does somebody want to get Jim a towel? Does anybody have a towel? And then Samoa Joe's TNA music hit, and he walked through the curtain, and that was badass. Got
that
some
was a bit cool, yeah.
Oh, it was pretty awesome. And then got some pretty damn good pictures with him and both JR and Samoa Joe. So, and JR pretty much turned the rest of his show into a promotion for why Samoa Joe should be in WWE.
That's awesome. Hey, so we got one thing in common. We both met Samoa Joe within the last year. There you go.
Well, you about a year and a half.
My lockdown.
It's a little over a year for you, but close
whatever.
enough.
I feel like it's a year ago.
Yeah, it's close enough.
Yeah, it was cool, man. And Samoa Joe was cool.
I didn't get to meet him, although I got to meet Michelle Beadle.
Oh, yeah, I saw the pictures on it. That was pretty cool.
Got to meet Michelle Beadle, get a picture with her from ESPN. So, speaking of ESPN, do you see this video that is going viral around? This woman was this girl that apparently is is some kind of news anchor or something. She was talking shit to this one parking attendant, basically making fun of her for her education, for her weight, for her looks.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it was pretty messed up. I mean, ESPN suspended her for a week, but I mean, I'd probably suspend her a little bit more than a week.
That's funny. I haven't checked that out at all, actually. And John, you had mentioned Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that because I read it today, and Steve Austin had cleared up a bunch of stuff saying that everything between him and the WWE was good, everything's fine. And I mean, I don't know how credible this source is. A lot of people use him because they've been around for a while. Whatever. And this guy's, he's 50-50, but PWInsider.com, I just vomited that out of my mouth right now, is reporting that WWE sources have indicated that despite any public denials, there are indeed continued issues between both sides.
And didn't they send out a cease and desist?
Oh, that I haven't seen it gone that far. Who did that? WWE sides or?
Yep, it was.
Oh yeah, you're right. I haven't even read the rest of this thing. WWE's legal team sent a cease and desist letter to Pro Wrestling Tees recording material that they sell for Austin in his official store. This is why all the fucking talent in the WWE that has the balls is leaving the company. Because they are trying to fucking control everything.
Because McMahon wants every cent for himself. And in some regards, there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, he's not a performer. Let the dude make his freaking living, because clearly you don't want to pay him. Or he wouldn't be leaving WWE, or wouldn't be having to go on his podcast, which I'm amazed they haven't stopped him from doing that yet. But, I mean, he wouldn't have to go on his podcast every week and say there's nothing going wrong with WWE. And even though he's saying there's nothing going wrong with WWE, well, it ain't stopping the jackasses like us still talking about it.
That's true. I mean, and what upsets me a lot about the company?
What upsets you a lot about the company?
Is going back to that control thing where, back in the 90s, and I go back to the 90s, even the 80s, I don't give a shit.
Oh, back when McMahon was actually coherent.
Not even that. That, the crowd could do whatever the fuck they wanted. The crowd could go and take any sign they wanted.
Oh, I think I know where you're going with this.
What?
I said I think I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, I mean, I've been reading a lot of recent reports on even Yahoo.com, which is the subsidiary, they have all the cage, whatever, all these other sites I link to Yahoo. But, fans going to shows and them taking signs away, even if there's not a curse word, if it says, we miss CM Punk, and then they're editing off of Monday Night Raw what the fans are saying because they don't like. I'm like, fucking shit, stop protecting your brand so much because you're turning your fucking fans away too. You know what I mean? It's just getting old. It's like, that's why people are looking for something else to watch, and that's why these fucking other companies are getting the time of day with new television contracts because you're trying to control every aspect of your fucking company, and it's just over fucking bearing. It's like, dude, it's just, I understand they're a big Fortune, whatever, 500 company, a multi-billion-dollar company, But you got to remember where your core is, and your core is wrestling and what got you where you're at. I know everything evolves, and the WWE has been a pioneer in that and sports entertainment, but there's just certain things that blows my fucking mind with them, you know?
You know what? You know, I was shocked. I mean, I was reminded afterwards. I did it last year too. I was at the Hall of Fame. They kept holding up. They kept holding up a giant sign next to the stage saying applause after, or they come back from a commercial, and then have it on the top of the Titantron, like you know that big board above the screen.
Arena?
Yeah, no, on the stage Titantron itself, above.
Oh, wow.
Not on the screen. But you know, like that one bar above the top of it where it says like Raw or something like that.
Yes.
They had it. It said applause.
That's funny.
Yeah, they wanted to bash WCW. WCW did the same thing, except they screwed it up because they'd put applause up when they want somebody to get booed, and then put booed up when they want somebody to get cheered.
And let me tell you why I say it's telling when guys. Like one of the biggest tag teams, the Young Bucks, say "fuck you" to WWE. When guys like AJ Styles don't even want to try to give them the time of day.
And then the Briscoes.
The Briscoes signed a new contract with ROH. I mean, there's a bunch of guys out there that have reportedly denied going to that company. You know, because they've heard what it is, and some people are still going to go because obviously. John, if you're a little kid and you've been watching the WWE all your life, there's some people that do want to live that dream and try it out, but some people are like, fuck it, I want to go do my own thing. That's why a guy like CJ Parker we had on last week is out doing his own shit right now too, you know? Because he's like, you know what, they're not using me right, I'm going to go do my thing. I already experienced this shit. And he let the biggest company in the world to go make his own, earn his own stripes his own way, do his own thing, you know? So it's just a lot of... I don't know. I'm excited that there's other options right now, which is
WWE. I mean, I don't mean to really completely shit on them. Although, if you guys are longtime listeners to the show, this is probably refreshing to you guys that I'm not just shitting on TNA here. For the first time in a while, Al, I kind of feel like you, where it's just I'm so. With WWE, which is weird because I came back from WrestleMania and I was all fired up to go into the playoffs, the new calendar year. Basically, it's basically Monday. The post-Mania Raw is basically New Year's Day for WWE, and they're going into it with a bullshit main event storyline that's basically more about Kane than it is about Randy Orton. A Kiss My Arse match, and a Divas division that they're scrambling to try to pick up the pieces from.
And you know what's
with
so
the Bellas
funny
possibly leaving, AJ retired. I don't know who the dumbass. What's up?
John, it comes off across on television how the Divas division is too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, it just feels like it's being rushed. Like, they don't know what the fuck to do. It's like you could tell the plans suddenly changed. I wonder why.
Yeah, but you can see it. They are scrambling because the Bellas are rumored to be leaving, which at this point I don't blame them. AJ retiring, and you know, like I was about to say, I don't know who the dumbass is that decided they wanted to do Paige to do 2 movies at the same time, as they would need her to head up the Divas division.
Yeah,
so,
I read something that they wrote her off on television, correct?
Yeah, pretty much. They had her win the Battle Royal, turn Naomi heel for some godforsaken reason to go against the heel Nikki Bella. That one makes a lot of sense. And then took out Paige, who's filming not 1 but 2 WWE movies. So, oh boy, I can't wait for a weekly Divas.
Question, John. These movies gonna be on houseofhardcores.com?
I wish, but
I know you wish, you crazy son of a bitch.
So do you. No.
Huh?
No, but you'd wish when I tell you what she is gonna be in. Santa's Little Helper.
Oh, I did. I know. I posted
With
that
The
like
Miz.
last month. Isn't it with the Miz also, or
It's with The Miz.
the Miz? What's up with the Miz, man? That they putting a rocket up his little movie ass, huh? They like him to do all of their movies.
Well, I mean, he's not good at he's not that good at wrestling lately. So I mean,
I don't care if anyone says his ability in the ring.
his
He knows
character.
how to. He
Oh
knows how to
God!
sell a match and sell himself.
And you know what? As a character, he's getting over fantastic because he plays that Hollywood prick character so well. But it's just, I mean, after how many times you can have him lose to Sandow?
Well, I'm not even. I'm gonna tell you guys, he's one of the most underrated fucking guys out there. Because
Who, The Miz or Sandow?
How many times has the Miz left and come back again, and he's still doing something relevant, and he's either receiving heat or there's cheering for him. He's one of those guys that he knows how to draw, and I don't care who fucking agrees with me or not. He knows how to draw heat or draw face from the crowd. He always has.
Because, like I said, he knows how to play that prick character
Yeah.
that nobody's really played since Edge retired. Edge was the last one that played that
That
prick,
was a cocky, arrogant guy.
cocky, arrogant son of a bitch that you just would want to punch in the face, knock their teeth down their throat, spit in their face.
So wait a minute. That's not John Cena.
No, because I'm talking
He's
like the actual.
cocky, arrogant fucking face. That's what he is.
But you know what? When you're a 15-time champion and you've only been in the company for 12 years, 13 years, would you not be a little bit cocky yourself?
Did you hear your stat right there?
15 championships in not even 13 years.
That's fucking. That.
And you could take away one of those years. 14 championships in 12, not even 12 years.
Yeah, because of all the injury time and filming movies
No.
and shit.
No, I take away one of the years and one of the reigns because one of the reigns is for a year.
Well, no, I was saying because there was time there.
He's
his
only
time,
missed like 6 months.
I'm sorry?
He's only missed like 6, 7, 8 months for injuries.
No, I think over the time period of, if you add all the times he's been gone, it's got to be at least a year. It has to be. He's been injured a few times. Handful. A couple, I'll say a couple.
Well, they took him out in 04 because of the Marine. Because that was when he got quote-unquote stabbed by Jesus. What else was there? He got injured in 07.
I saw him return at the Hell in a Cell Miami to defeat Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah, I was going to get to that one. He got injured in 07. He got injured in 08. He got injured in 13, which is when he came back.
Wait. Are you fucking Googling this? Or is this like...
No, this is memory.
Talking? Well, folks, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't do drugs, you'll have a brain like John. And if you do drugs, you'll have a brain like mine. Continue. Oh, wait, let me not say did, when I used to. Years ago. Sorry.
Damn!
Back then, guys, Al's favorite number was
$9.99.
for a whole different reason.
I thought you were going to say 69, but okay.
Oh, yeah!
But, no, so he's... All right, so I'll give you about a year that he's missed. So,
Not a good year.
all right, so to make it worse, 14 reigns in not even 11 years. Again, taking a year and a reign away because one of those reigns was for a year. Yeah. I'd be a little cocky, too.
I hate that.
But, I mean, and you know, Matt and I have talked about this a lot. Would Cena be a 15-time champion if there was only one title?
No.
No, he wouldn't. He'd be about a 7, 8, 9-time champion.
I agree.
I'd say about 7 or 8.
You say it that way, it makes me feel better about it.
If they had the one belt, here's another one for you. Would Triple H be a 13-time world champion if they only had one world title? I say no.
I told you, everyone never fucking believed me. When the companies merged, there should have only been one title. Now all the stats are fucked up.
I wouldn't say they're fucked up.
No, that's totally fucked up. I'm sorry.
It was still a world title. It was still basically the
two world
WCW.
titles in the same company. It's all bullshit. There should never be two world titles in the same company. Imagine, imagine in the UFC there was two fucking heavyweight champions.
There was when when Brock Lesnar got hurt.
Yeah, but that was because he got hurt. And it was just for a little bit, and they got their heads out of their asses.
All right, guys, we're rambling here. We got a lot to talk about when we get back, including when we get back. We're going to run down our predictions for the NBA playoffs. We've got Destination
Everybody
America.
Wins, but LeBron James.
Yeah, pretty much. Destination America calling the shots in TNA, and also the latest on Taz in TNA. And, of course, the rundown. 5 topics, 10 minutes. We're going to give you the rundown. And
before you go to commercial break, a WWE Hall of Famer wants to wrestle. No, WWE wants him to wrestle at WrestleMania 32. We'll have that on the other side of this break.
You guys want a hint? Oh, I didn't. Did I put it on here?
No, don't give them a fucking hint. Screw them. They got to listen.
Are you
Oops. Hold on.
Are you ready?
So you're cruising around the internet looking for some entertainment. What if I told you there's a hard-hitting, fresh, and opinionated podcast out there covering everything from WWE and TNA to the NFL, the NBA, and MLB? Well, that's reality. Main Event Madness is here. Don't miss us every week on MainEventMadness.com as well as on TuneIn Radio and Stitcher.com. Main Event Madness, our wrestling, your sports, simply madness. From the associate producer of The Wrestler, Evan Ginsberg, comes Evan Ginsberg's Legends TV, co-hosted by Steve Ludwig, featuring legends in sports, pro wrestling, and the arts. Lanny the Genius Poffo, Nicole Bass, Oscar from Men on a Mission, and million-selling music hitmakers like Martha Wash of the Weather Girls and Carol Douglas of Doctor's Orders fame appear regularly, as well as the greatest live indie musicians performing live in studio. Saturdays, 11 a.m. at legendstvnyc.com and madhousetv.com, archived 24/7. You missed the birth of your mother and father, don't you dare miss Evan Ginsberg's Legends TV. Looking for more than your average wrestling website? Looking for the fastest growing wrestling news site on the internet today? With quality news, results, and more. Wrestling News Report has everything you'd want in a wrestling website. Al Merriman has you covered with the latest and biggest stories of the day from all around the world of pro wrestling. Check them out today, WrestlingNewsReport.com. Hey you. Yeah, you. Looking for quality wrestling news with an international flair? Looking for results and news from around the world? Look no further than Wrestling-News.net. Wayne Daly and his crew have you covered from top to bottom, from WWE to TNA to the top independent companies from around the world. Check them out, Wrestling-News.net. Need a break? How about a rope break? Wrestling's Rope Break, that is. Don't miss every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's Wrestling's Rope Break. Joel O'Brien and Aaron Ramadanov give you a fresh and passionate insight on the latest happenings and news from the world of pro wrestling. It's Wrestling's Rope Break, Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, MainEventMadness.com and Spreaker.com. Presented by Main Event Madness. Alright guys, we're back, and first off, Al, I love the guitar riff that I put in their commercial.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. I liked it too. It kind of reminded me of like old WCW promotion shit.
Oh, the good old days. But hold on.
Ooh.
Once again, guys, before I get the next clip up.
The best of the
Are
best.
you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. All right, guys. Apparently.
Is it breaking news or no?
No, definitely not breaking news.
Oh, okay. So I don't have to
Alright.
play that clip. Good. Okay.
So, right. So he appeared at WrestleMania 31. He was involved in a huge match between Sting and Triple H. He actually was one of the main reasons Sting lost. Not only did the NWO appear, but DX appeared. Or maybe it was the opposite way. I think it was DX and then the NWO. Anyways, one of those DX members have been offered a WWE contract to wrestle at WrestleMania 32 from Dallas, Texas, where the Cowboys play. And this member of DX seems like he's not going to wrestle for some reason. There's only one Hall of Famer in the group right now in DX, and that is Shawn Michaels. And apparently he was on the Ross report. Well, not apparently. He was definitely on the Ross report.
Apparently. He was definitely.
Well, you never know with the Ross or Jim Ross. He's probably so liquored up. You never know what. I don't know. He just has sound clips put together. No, I'm messing around, guys. It looks like Jim Ross was talking to Michaels about WrestleMania 32, how we could likely see Stone Cold Steve Austin and Shawn Michaels wrestle there because they're both from Texas, and there's going to be over 100,000 attendees. And Michaels revealed that the WWE has gone for him several times to bring him back on different types of offers. One being creative, one working at WWE developmental, and another one apparently is, I've already had an offer. This is a quote when he responded to Jim Ross about working at WrestleMania 32. He goes, "I've already had an offer." AKA from the WWE, and I've enjoyed being retired. But apparently, also WWE has not only contacted him about working at developmental or as a writer, but even on different occasions to bring him back to wrestle, and he just keeps on standing true to his retirement. To Undertaker back at WrestleMania, what was it, 28?
26.
26, Jesus Christ. I was only 2 years off, and I was still in the even numbers. So what do you think about the possibility? And do you think that he would... I think he'll be a part of the show somehow.
He'll be a part of the show. No, he won't. He's going to come back for one match. If he didn't come back for the match with Daniel Bryan that was rumored a couple years ago, he's not going to come back for a match. Aside from... I say they'll save it for Mania 35. Excuse me. It'll be Triple H versus Shawn Michaels. If Triple H loses, he retires from in-ring competition.
Why are you saying 35, though?
Because they'll save it for the next big WrestleMania.
Apparently, WrestleMania doesn't matter anymore, the numbers, which I still don't understand.
Yeah, but I'm still giving it a couple years, How old's Triple H now?
He's young. He's 44, 45 or
so. He's still got about 3-4 more years in the ring, I'd say.
He might be 38.
No, he's over. Triple H is he's 45.
All right, I was pretty much.
I mean,
so how old is Shawn Michaels?
Shawn, I think he's like 55.
No.
Yeah.
That man's 55 years old. No fucking way.
He is. Oh wow, he's that young. He's only 49.
How much?
49.
Yeah, he's doing great. The guy would still be wrestling if it wasn't for his back.
I say if he can stay in shape, you could let Triple H go part-time like he is for like 3-4 more years. And if you're familiar with anything with Triple H and Shawn Michaels' friendship, Triple H mentioned it during Shawn's retirement, and back about 10, 11 years ago, they said they made a pact with each other that when the time comes for them to hang it up, they're going to tell him, and if they can't accept it, that the other one will end it for them. So, my hopes have been for a while that they would turn that into a storyline.
Well, that'd be kind of cool.
It would be. And I want to see a heel Shawn Michaels go against a babyface Triple H. Seeing as we've never seen that, I think that would be pretty cool.
Well, I for one wouldn't mind seeing a couple of these other guys come back for one last match. I don't know why. I think everyone's looking at WrestleMania 32. We already know it's breaking the record of over 100,000, so we all know
It's not that they don't. It's not that they don't think they're going to break the record. They want to ensure that they're going to break the record.
No, it's going to be broken. I think that's why everyone knows it's special, and I think it'll be special to see a Shawn Michaels or a Steve Austin or a Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan has to be involved somehow.
You know how badly I want to go, but I can't because nobody else will go with me, and the packages will be too.
I'm telling you, if my shit gets together, bro.
Well, you got until August to figure it out.
Oh, that's too soon.
I'm just saying, because I gotta buy the package, and I'll give it in about September, October.
Yeah, well, we'll see where we're at. Hopefully, but Hulk Hogan, like I would love to see all these guys have one last. Why can't we just put them all in like a fatal 4-way match? We'll stick Hogan in there, Steve Austin, fucking everybody, Sting, Undertaker, and Shawn Michaels, and a fucking deadbeat fucking brawl. We'll call it that if you want. And we'll have The Rock come in and beat them all.
Well, let's just look at it really quick. I mean, you got... Alright, so Triple H and The Rock is all but confirmed.
Oh, yeah.
They wouldn't have set that up and did the whole skit on Raw.
And prior to that, they showed that video a couple times during WrestleMania week of The Rock and Triple H at SmackDown, I believe last year.
Yeah, it was last year.
Tuesday match at WrestleMania. They keep on showing that shit everywhere.
So that's pretty much all but confirmed. Undertaker and Sting, that's pretty much all but confirmed. I mean, the fact that Taker and Sting were talking about it, and they're even pimping it out on the website now. I mean, come on. So that's 2 matches. I mean, what's your world title match? If you're the booker right now, say it's December 31st, and you got to book the main event for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 32, what do you book?
I don't know. I want to stick Brock Lesnar there somehow.
Would you do Lesnar Reigns 2?
Fudge? No. Hell no. I don't know. I can't tell you now. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Let me throw this one at you. A babyface Seth Rollins versus a heel Roman Reigns.
No, I'd rather see that Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar.
Or, well, we're going to get that at SummerSlam, reportedly.
I despise Roman Reigns. I don't understand. I've never liked him ever since everybody shoved a rocket up his ass, and I still don't like him. But no, okay, so I don't want to, sit here and talk about this shit all night. WrestleMania 32, I think it would be cool to see the likes of Shawn Michaels involved.
Would you want Hogan Cena?
I don't know. I don't know if that's what I want to see. You know what I mean? It would be kind of cool to see that in a weird way. But if Hogan does wrestle a match, I kind of think it's got to be like a tag team match.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got to be something special where maybe he's teaming with John Cena and then maybe Piper's on the other end with somebody else. Like, something like that, Maybe Steve...
What about an NWO reunion? Hogan, Hall, Nash versus Cena and 2 other people.
I wouldn't do that. I would have done NWO reunion, DX versus the NWO. And now you got me something that I want to see.
You could.
Shawn Michaels.
You could do Hall, Nash, and X-Pac against Billy Gunn, Road Dogg, and...
No, all wrong.
China. No, I'm kidding.
I'll see Hall, Nash, and Hogan versus Shawn Michaels and
Triple H.
New Age Outlaws. That's it. That would be my match.
I want to bring Shawn out of retirement for that, though.
Yeah, why not? Oh, I see what you mean. Out of retirement, I know. I'm getting some news in here. Nothing major, I don't think, but we were talking about The Miz earlier.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if you saw this, but they have just announced on Monday Night Raw, we're going to see The Miz versus Damian Sandown, or Miz down, once again. And there's a stipulation to their match, and whoever wins the match is going to keep the trademark of Miz. So they'll be able to use the likeness of Miz throughout. So we all kind of know that Damian Mizdow is going to win that. So there's a match for Monday Night Raw for you folks that like to know those things.
I kind of called that.
In a weird way, you did.
Because
Actually,
I
think you did verbatim.
Except I said about the theme song.
Yeah, you were pretty much on point there.
Damn. And I'm off Monday.
There you go.
Ugh.
I got a quick question before we continue with this show.
I'm going to kill myself for doing this. Go ahead.
No, it's not a big question. Do you think that Aaron Hernandez should be guilty of murder?
Yes.
All right, then.
And I'm glad the son of a bitch is going to rot in jail. I'm honestly happy. I'm honestly happy he's the son of a bitch is rotting in jail for the rest of his life. And I hope he gets fucking shanked by somebody in there.
No, I mean, you don't want to hope shit like that. Come on.
You know what, no? But you know what? He took our life away from somebody else. If it happens, it happens.
You know what's crazy about it, though? Like, he has no remorse at all.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
And when I read the sentence, he was like, he didn't give a fuck. Like, he was just sitting there like, oh, fuck it. I'm like, dude, you're going to rot your ass in jail for fucking, you're only 20, what is he, like 25 years old? 6?
Yep.
Do you understand you're going to be there for fucking ever, you stupid fuck? You had a $40 million contract, you stupid fuck. Like, what the fuck, dude? It doesn't make sense. That's one of those things that is just fucking ridiculous.
I hate you, by the way, for talking about Raw.
What did I do?
I'm going to try and give away my shift on Tuesday and go to Raw Monday. Because I found tickets for $65.
Wait, what do you mean? Raw's in your town?
Raw's in Albany.
Oh.
Uh-huh. Which is about 3 hours away from me.
So you're going, or yes or no?
To be determined.
I said, fuck a 3-hour drive for Monday Night Raw.
Huh?
I say fuck a 3-hour drive for Monday Night Raw.
I'll have to look at this after. But anyway, all right, so let's jump right into it, man. The playoffs are set. The brackets are set. The teams, the matchups, everything for the playoffs are set. Do you have the brackets or the playoffs in front of you?
Yes, I do. I got the Eastern Conference to the right and the Western Conference to the left. I got all my seeds, the 1-8s, the 4-5s, the 3-6, and the 2-7s.
All right. So let's just run down them quick. Blazers, Grizzlies, who we got? Hello?
Portland Blazers. Dude, you threw me off so bad right there. Because they had this shit by state. I'm like, dude, where the hell is the Grizzlies?
Check Skype, sir.
Shit, that made my fucking night right there.
Check Skype, sir.
No, I got the same shit. Or probably not.
I'm on NBA.com. I'm looking at the playoff picture.
I'm on something called printyourbrackets.com. All right, so Portland and Memphis. Fuck, you want to go with the ones I don't give a shit about? Yep. I'm going to go with Memphis.
Just to be different, I'm going to go with Portland.
All right.
I'm going to say... Huh?
So you got to go down the brackets, right? You're going to pick the fucking things...
Yeah, why not?
Are we doing a whole playoff prediction here?
No, we'll do one round a week.
All right, so let's start from the top then. 1-8. It's Golden State and New Orleans.
All right. I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to say New Orleans wins the first round.
The only reason I hope you're fucking wrong is because I feel like the Warriors could do some damage to Cleveland. But I'm going to go with the Warriors. I think they have some They have a great team. Curry's off the chain. They have a good team, and they've been playing together for a long time. Something like I think they have the it factor. The next one is Portland and Memphis. You guys already heard us.
Yep.
So all right. So yeah, you're right. We should do this as by round. Clippers and San Antonio.
I say the Clippers. I think the Spurs time's run out. I think last year was it for them. I think this year could be the last year, their last hurrah for both the Spurs and the Mavs.
I want to say this. I don't know if you agree with me on this comment I'm about to say. I think the Clippers and the Spurs is the best of the first round games in the Western Conference.
Absolutely.
I think that might go 6 or 7 games.
It's the most solid matchup in the Western Conference,
yeah,
too.
Right now it's the most solid and the most almost unpredictable.
And
I had the Clippers by a slight edge in Game 7.
I mean, to me, it's put up or shut up time for Chris Paul.
That's what I'm saying. I think this is like...
You've been in the league 12 years now. You got a chance to beat the champions. It's put up or shut up.
And I'm telling you, I'm giving the Clippers a hair of a chance here. Of all the series, this is the one I want to watch.
I say the Clippers in 6.
I'm going to say Clippers on a nail biter in 7.
And they're going to go limping into the semifinals.
Yeah, I think
limping into the semifinals.
I think so.
Where the Portland Trailblazers are going to eat them alive. What?
What?
Never mind. Go ahead.
They would face either Houston or Dallas.
Yeah, they would. I looked at that wrong.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was trying to... Houston and Dallas. I'm taking the Rockets over the Mavericks.
Yeah. I think, like I said, same thing about the Spurs. I think the Mavs' time's up. I think Dirk's fountain of youth has finally dried up.
Well, he already announced his retirement, right?
What?
He announced it about 2 weeks ago. This is his last playoff run.
What a pretentious prick.
Yeah, officially. He did it I think about 10 days ago he announced it.
Pretentious prick.
All right, here we go. I think I know.
Before we move on to the Eastern Conference, though, I'm excited about the prospect of the Rockets Clippers in the semifinals.
Yeah, I think that's going to be great.
That's going to be a really good matchup.
Whoever wins between 1, 8, 4, and 5, I really don't give a shit about those semifinals. Going into the Western Conference game.
All right, Eastern Conference time.
Well, obviously we're going to pick. It's Brooklyn and Atlanta. Whatever. I know what you're picking. You're picking with your heart and not your brain on this one.
I'm going to say Atlanta in 5.
Really?
Atlanta in 5. I think the net. I think the
Brooklyn.
No.
Isn't that your home team?
No, they are, but no.
Yeah, Atlanta's gonna whoop that ass.
They're gonna win Game 2 or Game 3, and that's gonna be it. It's gonna go to Darren Williams' head, and that's it.
I'm not even gonna give you guys that. I'm gonna tell you it's Atlanta in 4.
I wouldn't say 4. They're gonna win Game 2 or Game 3.
Nah. All right. I don't agree with you. Look, another shitty Eastern Conference game. Toronto versus Washington.
I say the Wizards. I like the Wizards. I've never been a really big fan of the Raptors, partially because of their rivalry with my Nets, but, I think John Wall is going to stand his ground this year.
Man, the Eastern Conference looks so fucked up without the Heat in it. All right,
I got to give that to you. It does.
I'll pick Washington in 6 because Toronto could do some noise defensively when they want to.
All right. It's the Bulls and the Bucks. Fuck the Bucks. I'm going with the Bulls.
Yeah. I'm just going with the Bulls. Cleveland is going to the fucking finals. I cannot believe this shit. I'm looking at this shit, and these fuckers are gonna end up in the finals.
You know what though? Knowing my luck as a Nets fan, fucking the Milwaukee Bucks are going to go to the finals. because we gave them Jason Kidd to be their head coach. And Jason Kidd's going to go to the finals, where he will proceed to get murdered by the Los Angeles Clippers. But, that's beside the point.
That's funny.
Because the Clippers of the Warriors are, despite even though I picked the Pelicans just to be different, the Clippers of the Warriors are going to murder whoever comes out of the Eastern Conference. Even the Rockets, if the Rockets make it. I would not.
So we're going to agree. Chicago for sure.
So it'll be, next week we'll talk about Chicago and Washington. And Atlanta versus the Cavs. I don't think Boston's really got a snowball's chance in hell here.
The Cavaliers, man.
Hey, when you have LeBron James playing general manager for you, you're gonna go to the playoffs.
What I would fucking be grateful for if they don't get out of the first round.
Not for nothing.
They're playing Boston.
Not for nothing. If LeBron is the god of the NBA, why does he need to find all-star after all-star after all-star after all-star to play with him? Just throwing it out there.
I'll tell you this. I'm happy that he came to Miami. I don't like how he left. I don't like how he left Cleveland in the first place. I think he fucking. You don't
like an ESPN special to announce that you're leaving your team for more money because you want to be greedy?
That was fucking dirty what he did.
Oh, it was disgusting.
And I'll tell you this, I think what he did to Bosch and Wade was fucked up too. He just said, "Fuck you guys, I'm out." I thought that was wrong. Who the fuck leaves a team after going to 4 straight NBA finals? Like, you're a fucking dick for doing that. He's trying, I don't know. I feel like he ran away from Cleveland and he ran away from the Heat. Now he's over there and everybody's jacking his thing off, and I don't understand it.
It was because everybody was bitching and moaning that he left Cleveland, so he went back to Cleveland to shut him up. He's just going to leave Cleveland after this year anyway.
That'd be funny. And, man, I forgot what reporter from ESPN.com.
He's just going to be a Laker. He's going to be a part of the Lakers next year.
Did you hear that? The report, I forgot who it was from ESPN.com, that they say Kevin Durant might go to the Heat after next season.
Woo!
That would be fucking...
Woo! Bosch, Wade, and Durant. Bosch, Wade, and Durant. If that happens, I'll be living in Southwest Florida by then. I might just become a Heat fan if that happens. I like that.
You gotta become a Heat fan.
I'm just saying. I like that. I like Wade, Bosch, and Durant. Whew. I mean, it's going to be literally those 3 playing because they're not going to have the money to pay for the other 9 guys, but, All right. So let's switch gears here, Al. And before I let you take over as host, I just saw this meme on Facebook, and I got to ask you this. Honestly, legitimately, what would you rather see one more time, one last match to end the rivalry? The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, or Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock? Is that not a tough one, or what?
I don't know, because I would like to see Austin and The Rock. For me, I don't know. Fucking Taker. I don't know. I feel like I got those matches from WrestleMania embedded to my brain between Shawn Michaels and Undertaker. I would prefer to see The Rock and Steve Austin. I think that would be great. They did some great shit, bro.
They did. I wouldn't mind seeing it one more time. I saw Taker and Shawn twice within the last decade, so I'd be okay with seeing Taker.
All right, guys. We are.
Oh shit! Okay. You want some dirt on what could happen in the main event right now? I love this. The main event of Extreme Rules.
Breaking up a little bit, man.
Sorry, I said, would you like to hear the rumor I just saw for the main event of Extreme Rules?
What?
The rumor right now is that Roman Reigns will be the next to challenge Randy or Seth Rollins for the WWE Championship.
Which we all knew that.
There are creative plans in place that have Bray Wyatt reveals that his promos are for Randy Orton and have Wyatt cost Randy Orton the WWE Championship match. And Wyatt will sneak in the cage much like he did at Hell in a Cell between Rollins and Ambrose and allow Rollins to pin Orton. This will set up a feud between Orton and Wyatt, which will end up in 3 matches culminating at Battleground. Go back to last week, folks. I said I want to see Orton and Wyatt. I like that.
Yeah, I mean,
I like that a lot.
I like that idea.
Oh, my God. I mean, do you want to see the closest thing to Orton and Undertaker again? Because you're about to see it. That's going to be so awesome. What a way to rebound.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's much better than the entire pay-per-view.
Yeah, that just the thought of that alone, that's pretty. I like that idea.
I like that a lot. But all right, so what do we got left here? Oh,
I do want to talk to you about something. Did you? I know we got a bunch of topics, but it's funny because I'm online now with this. I think the connection's been pretty sweet, and I haven't read this yet. So I'm asking you, and this is me talking without reading the story.
Oh God, I'm scared.
But
I'm scared.
This goes with James Winston.
Oh dear God.
James Winston. Did you hear that he's being sued by a second victim that apparently he raped?
Oh no, it's the same one.
No.
It's the same one.
I'm looking at ProFootball.com and it's saying it's the second victim.
It's a second victim? Dear God.
It says, listen to me. It says lawsuit against Winston refers to second victim.
Kobe Bryant's in the NFL?
I'm sorry?
I said Kobe Bryant's in the NFL?
Apparently so. Apparently so. The Buccaneers are indeed going to select.
I gotta tie this to wrestling somehow. How awesome was Abraham Washington for that joke that got him fired? Do you remember what his joke was?
No, I don't. Not off the top of my head, but I remember he got fired like fucking the same.
Titus O'Neil. He's like Kobe Bryant in a Colorado hotel room. He's unstoppable.
I still don't understand why that nigga got
Oh, man.
That's funny.
Did the Yankees lose tonight?
My guys lost tonight again to the freaking Mets.
We didn't play today? Oh, that's right. We lost the series ending last night. Okay. Oh, and then we get to go play Tampa, the only team in our division worse than us. Oh, dear God.
That's how I can't believe that the Mets have a better.
It's a week and a half. It's a week and a half in the season.
But don't you feel like there's? I've watched.
Yes, the Yankees are in last place in the American League East.
I've watched so much baseball already that I feel like the season should be over.
Are you shitting me? The Yankees, the Yankees are tied for the worst record in the American League, and are one loss off of the worst record in baseball. Whew. Man, this is going to be a fun season.
You hear what I said, though?
But do the Mets have a better record?
No.
That you've been watching a lot of baseball this year.
Yeah, and it feels like the season should be over already.
Hey, I'm saying next year, you and me, we're going to, I'm sure they'll play a game next year. You and me, Marlin Stadium next year.
Oh, Marlin Stadium. Fucking awesome, bro.
And we're going to a Heat game.
It's nice. Other than that horrendous thing in the outfield, everything
is
beautiful.
What the fuck is it? What the fuck is it?
I still don't know what it is. It's like dolphins. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life.
All right, then. Then I want to go to a Heat game because I've never been to an NBA game.
Oh, man. The Heat games are awesome. It's like a big party.
So, we'll have some fun. That, and we're heading up to NXT.
Oh, no, you got to be out of my mind. Out of your mind. I'm not someone that likes driving, so...
I'll drive.
I'll take a train or something.
I'll drive.
No, I don't like being in a car that long. I freak out.
Dude, it's like 3 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours of my fucking... I can't take it, man. I get claustrophobic.
Open the window. Stick your head out the window.
All right, guys, let's continue.
We'll talk about that as it gets closer.
Scott Fishman here in a little bit.
We're coming up in about a half an hour from now. All right, so let's hit the rundown really quick before we get into the latest on TNA's debacle. We got 10 minutes, 5 topics here. Are you ready?
Oh, my God. I just read something on the rundown that has me very excited. Okay.
All right, let's start off with what Al's really excited about. And an update to our rundown segment from last week, the Great Khali will not be returning to WWE.
I need to know where that information came from. I didn't even have it up on the site yet.
Well, you are literally a week behind because I saw it about an hour after we got off the air last week.
You son of a... Are you kidding me?
I'm dead ass. But because I wanted your reactions, I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to throw it in this week.
You son of a bitch. Oh, that's fucking... That's just made my whole fucking night. Yes.
The great call. Now we just need to get rid of the Big Show.
The Big Show and Kane.
Kane, you know what? Kane's slow burning babyface turn, I'm liking it.
Oh God, here we go.
If they put the mask back on him, I'll like it.
Wait. I've been doing this show with you for a little over a year now, I think. And we've talked about fucking Kane and his mask about 10% of the show. That's a fucking problem. Because it always comes out, he's going to put his mask back on, he's going to take it off, he's putting it back on, oh my God.
You know what's not a problem? Bobby Heenan had a successful, quote, major, end quote, surgery last week. Yeah, they didn't really get into, or earlier this week, they didn't really get into what the surgery was. I mean, you got to think that it's got to do something with his jaw or, you know, something from the cancer that he had. But either way, it's awesome to see that Bobby Heenan had some successful major surgery. Hopefully that means he's got a little bit more of a voice coming back to him.
I hope so. I feel bad. I still can't believe the difference, you know, between him and how he used to be. That's crazy. One of the best managers in wrestling.
All right, so it's finally happened, folks. How do you say his name?
You are Nation. That's what I say.
Well, you mess up names, so we'll stay with that. Is finally heading to NXT.
Oh,
so all of you internet fans out there can finally stop your whining, your squabbling, your bitching, your moaning, your complaining, your bitching and bitching and bitching and bitching and bitching and bitching and bitching about him not being in NXT. He has officially joined NXT. Will be debuting, I believe they said, within like the next month, didn't they?
Yeah, that's what they said. That sucks. He's not going to be like anywhere else. That means his career is down the toilet.
Well, we might as well change this to 5 topics, 5 minutes, because we're running through these. Actually, this will take up a little...
Austin. We didn't talk about Austin.
I know. I'm saving that for last.
And JR.
So, Jim Ross is reportedly working on WWE 2K16, and they're also promising the quote-unquote biggest roster ever. Now, you play some video games once in a while, Al. What would you like to see in a video game from WWE?
Every single wrestler that's ever wrestled in a WWE ring.
Well, that won't happen.
I want to know if I could be...
Because I'm pretty sure Chyna and Chris Benoit will not be in the WWE game. I want
Chris Benoit in there. I want Ken Shamrock. I want to be the Headbangers. I want to fucking be Hillbilly Jim. I want to fucking play as Bruno Sammartino.
What about the guy who killed a guy?
Who?
Well, the guy who killed a guy.
Chris Benoit?
Rey Mysterio.
Oh, Rey...
Because Rey Mysterio killed a guy.
It's too soon for that shit. Damn it.
He killed a guy.
He just had a memorial service for him last week.
I don't care. Rey Mysterio... Well, I do care, and I, thoughts and prayers go to the family of Paraguayo.
The guy...
Which, by the way...
Mysterio could have been Cock Mysterio.
Which, by the way...
No matter what.
Classy move by Jim Ross. His show, WrestleMania Weekend, was actually dedicated to Paraguayo. So...
Speaking of Jim Ross, did you mention our little podcast and ask him to come on the show?
Yeah, he was sitting there. He's like, "You guys are doing podcasting. You guys are going to put me out of business."
Oh, that's what he said? Seriously? That son of a bitch.
But yeah, so I think he might have had a couple cocktails in him, but it was awesome to me. I told him
that's when you take advantage. What's your cell phone number, buddy? I'll call you.
Somebody get this guy out of here. I think he's had a few too many to drink. He's trying to get my phone number. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I don't.
Like the guy from one of those cartoons.
Probably King of the Hill. King of the Hill. What, Bobby? What? Every time I hear Jim Ross say "what," I'm like, hey, Hank Hill's calling WWE. Yeah, I'd love to see a bigger roster. An expansion on career mode. I hate the fact that once you win the WWE Championship in career mode, your career mode's over with. I mean, they should kind of have a thing like some of the sport games do, where you have like a little meter to build up to you get to the Hall of Fame, where it could last you 10, 15, 16, 17, 18 years, maybe 20 years. You know, get some playing time out of it.
Well, I must say I haven't owned a wrestling game in ages. And the one time I tried to rent it from Netflix, or no, from Redbox,
Redbox.
sorry, it was a fake. I had to.
Yeah, cardboard box
Yeah,
disc.
remember that shit? I was so pissed. And it took me I had to drive 20 minutes away for that shit because nobody had it.
Now, what son of a bitch made you go do that?
I don't know. This freaking story of my life, whatever that song goes.
It's pretty bad how much I've used up a can of compressed air trying to get shit out of my keyboard.
I love that you're using that on fucking air. That is awesome.
Well, I saw some shit in my keyboard. But, all right, last one for the rundown here. Austin is supposedly mad at Cena and for copyright infringement, gimmick infringement, and for stealing the stunner. Which, by the way, they said, didn't they say it was like god awful or it's dangerous or something like that?
John Cena shouldn't be doing things like that.
If he wants to do a stunner, do a stunner. You know, if you want to cycle in, you know, in and out between the stunner and the AA as a finish, do that. But I mean, the springboard thing, he's gonna get himself he's gonna screw up his neck again.
I am Googling right now because I want to see this thing again. John Cena
springboard stunner.
Oh yeah, it's gonna come up.
All right. So meanwhile, while Al's doing that, let's talk about a little bit of TNA, and I don't mean tits and ass because
yes, you were, buddy.
And definitely not Al's tits and ass. Although Triple D's.
What is this shit? Sorry. I just saw it again.
That's probably what people are saying when they listen to this show.
Okay.
But
Mazel tov.
I'm not Jewish.
Nah.
What?
Okay.
Okay.
It's late. I'm getting delirious here.
Al, you've been delirious since 1985.
All right, what are we talking about next?
Destination America reportedly is calling the shots in TNA.
Well, at least somebody is. Fuck.
Destination America wants Kurt Angle to be the world champion because they like the idea of an Olympic gold medalist being their world champion. Mind you, the guy's 40-something years old, and they like Taryn Terrell being the Knockouts champion because she's pretty. By God, Vince McMahon is running TNA.
And you heard the other thing too, though. They're upset that TNA is taping in the UK. That they shouldn't be doing that.
When there's rumors that TNA lost the Impact Zone to WWE for a freaking Hall of Fame that's never going to be built, you know, and then they gave them the rundown freaking half the size rinky-dink little Impact Zone. You remember that, right, last year? The tiny-ass little freaking half of Impact Zone that they used to have?
Yeah, I remember that.
I feel bad for them, man. Like, they're on Destination America, and they've been in America for, 2 weeks worth of TV tapings.
It's crazy, man. Well, I mean, they're still averaging half their numbers, which is good, right? They used to have 1 million viewers. Now they're averaging 400,000 to 500,000. They totally fucked themselves.
Meanwhile, you know that meme of J.K. Simmons, where he's sitting there laughing with the mustache from Spider-Man? No. I'm gonna find it for you really quick. But it's pretty much epitomizing Spike TV's reaction. But also, there were some reports that came out earlier this week that apparently TNA's behind on pay.
Yeah, but it's tough because that Matt Hardy posted 17 fucking checks online, and another guy that they are getting paid. So I don't know if they're behind on a couple people's pay
Well, apparently they were behind on one person, and that would be now. Sorry, I just saw a picture on here. I'll send it to you after the show. Apparently they were behind on somebody's pay, and that would be Taz.
Yeah, freaking Taz, man.
Taz announced yesterday in his Twitter account. I got to get off this before I start really laughing for the rest of the show. You'll see these afterwards, and you'll wonder what I'm laughing at, or you won't wonder what I'm laughing at. You'll know. I've wanted Taz back in WWE for a few years, so it's nice. I'm hoping that he does come back. Maybe something with NXT, but I don't know. It sucks that his entire tenure in TNA came down to something like that.
It's just weird because, he got pissed off about something. You think it was the pay, though?
I think so. As the pay rumors come out, next thing you know, Taz is talking about leaving, and then he leaves.
It's just, I'm sorry, I was reading about Aaron Hernandez here, and it's just...
That son of a bitch.
Yeah, got a lot of things going on here. Yeah, I wonder what's going to be next for him. There's for him, and I personally, maybe it wasn't the pay. Maybe he heard you're seeing that correlation, but what about this one? Right around the same time, Tommy Dreamer makes that announcement. Just saying, maybe he's heading over to Tommy Dreamer's House of Hardcore and going to help him out.
It's going to be interesting? If Joey Styles leaves WWE.
Shit, that would be kind of cool.
I'm just saying.
What that poor bastard? What is his title now?
He's like the supervisor. He's in charge of the WWE.com.
You think he fucking likes that shit?
I think so. Otherwise, he wouldn't be doing it for almost 10 years.
It's been 10 years since he did that.
10 years since that promo. 8 years or 7 years since he got dropped off of commentary in favor of Mike Adamle.
I can't believe that.
I'm just gonna leave it at that, guys. Mike fucking Adamle.
No, I just can't believe that it's been that long. What the fuck's going on with time?
We're getting old. That's what.
Fast,
yeah. But all right, so. Huh?
No, I was on Joey Styles' Twitter. He tweeted kayfabe news. Is WWE considering Balls Mahoney for a high-profile feud with Roman Reigns? He retweeted that shit. That's why I love that guy. And he
probably still more over than Roman Reigns.
And let's add to the rumors. He actually, on his Twitter account, hey, official Taz, aren't you available for color commentary now? Does Tommy Dreamer know? Smiley face. Look at that. So we were talking about it. Fucking Joey Styles is already telling Taz to go join Tommy Dreamer.
There we go.
That's fucking awesome.
I'm looking at his Twitter right now. I want to see this.
And he also reported about that ESPN shit with Britt McHenry. That's pretty cool.
So, Kurt Angle, apparently WWE wouldn't even talk to him in negotiating his contract.
I thought we kind of discussed that last week, didn't we? Or
we ran out of time for it.
Oh, I mean, do you think that's what are your thoughts on it, man? I think it's kind of fucked up, to be quite honest.
I mean, when you go to try to come back to a company and you go to talk to Vince and he tells you, well, Triple H is in charge of talent now. Triple H laughs at you, and you go to try to talk to Vince again anyway. I mean, I wouldn't exactly expect a job.
It's just weird, man. It's fucking Kurt Angle, dude. It's not like fucking It's not like, some schmuck bucket from out. It's Kurt Angle. He's like one of the major guys. Feuded with Brock Lesnar in the past. He helped create John Cena, the monster that he is now. Like he has history in that company. He's not like like you brought back so many guys like Hogan that you fucking. Like, what happened? Like, they reconciled with Bruno Sammartino and Ultimate Warrior. Why the fuck couldn't they bring back Kurt Angle? Why wouldn't they even give him the time of day? Something's odd there, and I don't understand. I know that Kurt Angle's had his troubles in the past, but they can't fucking tell me shit about that. When we have Scott Hall there, and Jake the Snake Roberts, and fucking Jimmy Snuka, and all these other guys. So don't tell me it's because of Kurt Angle's recent past.
No, I think to me it has something to do with Kurt, the way he left WWE, and that he said he was burnt out. He needed some time off. He avoided signing a contract. He had just signed. He just signed a contract extension with WWE for like 5 or 7 years, and like a month later, he decided he needed time away and voided out his contract, or he got released from his contract. A week later, he's in TNA.
I don't remember. Yeah, but didn't TNA like give him that reduced schedule and all that shit too?
Just because it's new doesn't mean it's better. Clearly, TNA's proving that.
Yeah, that's true.
Damn, you sound like you're freaking on houseofhardcore.com over there, buddy. I hear some scraping, a zipper going.
Yeah, it's my briefcase, guys. I'm sorry. My
his briefcase, eh?
My laptop is freaking dying out on me here. I'm hoping to go these last 13 minutes without a problem.
Hopefully.
And then we got Scott Fishman, which you interviewed him earlier, so he's that's going to be up on the show here in a little bit. Man, WWE, man, they're in Budapest today. Pretty badass. The good life, right?
They're in Budapest?
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Wish I was in Budapest. Where the hell's Budapest?
I don't know. But it's there. They're all over there. John Cena defeated Rusev for the United States Championship after an attitude adjustment. Bray Wyatt has been... I still... The worst thing that they did was split up Eric Rowan and Luke Harper, man.
Mm-hmm.
They should have still been with Bray Wyatt. I don't understand what the fuck... to this day, it blows my mind that they didn't give them all championships. Kind of did like, with the Shield and whatnot. They could have added... My impression of what the Wyatt family was going to be kind of like what The Undertaker became. With all these fucking people, the Ministry of Darkness?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, all right, we're going to see Sister Abigail soon. There's going to be other fucking people coming in. Luke Harper and Rowan were going to become tag team champions. Bray Wyatt was going to be a U.S. champion, then a World Heavyweight Championship. And fucking they killed it before even, kept on going. I don't understand.
Well then. Budapest is in Hungary, which is surrounded on all sides by countries that don't speak English, including Slovakia, Ukraine, Romania, home of Oksana, so they could have kept her, Serbia, Croatia, Slovenia, and Austria. So good luck speaking English at that show. And then in the not so distant range away from Budapest, you got Poland, and you've got Italy. So you got a little bit of English, and you've got Moldova. Shout out to anybody possibly listening in Moldova. I don't know anybody. I've never seen anybody who's listening in Moldova, but hello to Moldova.
You never know.
You never know.
And there goes the fucking. I got a question for you. What do you
I
think
might have an answer for
of Miss Ronda Rousey walking into a WWE ring again?
I hope we see it.
She says she wants it. She says she needs it, and she says she's got to have it.
Can she say that to me?
Only your dreams, buddy. Only in your dreams.
I don't know.
What do you think? I mean, it's kind of I think she was also on the. No, she was on Piper's Pit. I don't know where the fuck she said it. She said it somewhere. That she wants to come back. I mean, what do you think on that? Anytime I see her in a ring, I'm a very happy person. So what about you?
Yes. And I mean, to your point earlier, in our earlier days, how about Ronda Rousey and Stephanie McMahon in the ring? Yes, please.
Hello.
Al will not be seen for many hours after that.
They might set up a tag team match next year. You know that, right?
Don't tell me that.
I'm just saying it might be Triple H and McMahon versus The Rock and Rousey.
Oh God.
You're gonna watch it. You're gonna buy the ticket.
I'm not gonna buy the ticket.
You're gonna love it. Rousey, I don't see. Well, Ronda has been. I think she does practice some wrestling. Maybe she can have a match with a year of wrestling behind her. Shit, if Karl Malone and Dennis Rodman did it, I think that Ronda has a better chance of putting on a good match.
If what's his face?
David Arquette.
Yes.
Well, he was a pure wrestler. What are you talking about?
And Vince, I'll give you one more name. 2 words. Vince fucking Russo.
Wasn't he champion once?
He was WCW champion. And they wonder why that company went out of business. You know, I don't have that much. I'm not smart enough to run a wrestling company. Otherwise, I would be. I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to take somebody from the fucking booking team and make them your champion. I mean, I could be wrong, but unless your booking team has Triple H in it, you know, I'm pretty sure that's the only exception.
Wait, John. Just thinking about that right now. Imagine you're sitting in the fucking meeting that day, and Vince Russo's your head writer, and he goes, "You know what? Fuck it. None of these guys can hold that fucking belt. I'm gonna become champion." What the fuck do you tell the guy?
Hold on.
That's hilarious.
You want my reaction? Hold on. Let me find it really quick.
Oh shit, that's funny.
Where is it? Let me find it. Yeah, there we go.
Gene Okerlund with Ravishing Rick Rude and Bobby the Brain Heenan. Gentlemen, as you know, the Ultimate Warrior. Fuck!
What the fuck was that from?
Fuck! Okay, standing by now.
It was some pay-per-view way back. But
who said fuck it?
Gene Okerlund.
Warrior.
He said fuck it?
Fuck.
Listen.
Fuck.
Is that real?
Dead ass, straight from the clip.
You gotta send me that fucking link. That's
Warrior.
fucking hilarious.
Fuck.
I would love to have been in the creative meetings between that, and I've said it a million times. Back TNA when Hogan and Dixie and Bischoff were writing TNA, and the bullshit endings that they had. I said for the longest time, how could they sit there and think to themselves, this is the best we can do. This right here is great wrestling programming. This right here is quality television. How can they look at themselves with a straight face and say that?
I will tell you this. Last week, I mean, I don't know about the last episode of Monday Night Raw, but the following week, they had some good wrestling. A live episode.
No, I'm just saying, like, between how TNA was from, like, 2011 onward, I mean, it didn't help that Jeff Hardy got freaking blitzed in the ring, but, you know, I mean, that and how WCW was. I get, like, the finger poke of doom wasn't supposed to end up the way it did. It was supposed to culminate some big storyline, but Goldberg had to be a dumbass and break his hand in the freaking glass or rupture the blood vessel, whatever it was. But I just don't get how they could how they could, like, just approve of it. Especially, I mean, Hogan's smarter than that, right? You would think.
No, you would think.
Oh, another TNA departure revealed. Supposed to load up. Gotta love my internet. Not. Shout out to Verizon Fios. Oh. Oh, that one's got me upset. The Great Sonata has been moved to their alumni roster.
That's depressing.
That's depressing.
That's a
Moment of silence, anybody? No?
yeah. I mean,
No?
Great Sonata. You know that he was one of the best of the best.
He was one of the greats.
I don't know who the fuck it is, but hey.
Hey, he was one of the greats.
No, he was one of the greats. You know, he was one of those wrestlers there that he did what he had to do, and he did it well, and I think he'll be missed.
Ooh. That sounds more exciting than the WWE's pay-per-view. NASA's Messenger spacecraft that's been orbiting Mercury is due to end its mission with a plunge onto the planet's surface. The first spacecraft to ever the system's innermost planet 2 weeks from now. That sounds more exciting than Extreme Rules, I gotta say.
I think that's what I want to see.
I would honestly rather watch a freaking satellite blow up in space than watch a Kiss My Arse match.
What I want to watch is Hillary Clinton to become president.
Get the hell off my show.
Damn!
Boy, that doesn't
Damn!
intrigue you.
Damn! Damn! Damn!
Shit. You know why I say that? You gotta look at the SNL and then Bill Clinton in the background. That shit's hilarious.
I'm sorry, sir. I just can't get over the fact that you said something good about Hillary Clinton being president.
Hey, anything could be better than what we have right now. It could be, I said.
I'm a Republican, and I'll argue Bush.
Wait, what? You want Bush?
No, you said anything's better than Obama right now. I said I'm a
You want
Republican.
another Bush? You want Jeb
No,
Bush?
you said anything could be better than Obama, and I said yeah. Except I'll argue. I said I'm a Republican, but I'll argue Bush. Bush is as bad as Obama.
Oh, okay.
So before we get ready to wrap this up, let's just talk about some random crap here. We got a couple minutes left to kill. Did you see?
Or did you not?
Did you see the Star Wars Episode 7 trailer?
No, I didn't even know what that's not real.
What?
No.
What the hell do you mean it's not real?
Really happening?
Yes.
I didn't know. I'm not. You guys got to understand. I'm not a fucking guy that knows about everything. You know.
Guys, if you go back and watch literally like the past 50, 60 episodes we've done, I guarantee you in about 20 to 30 of them, Al will say he knows everything.
Oh, you bad bastard.
Safe bet. Safe bet.
No, I don't know. I mean, no, I haven't seen it, but I all seriousness, I did hear people are excited about it.
Oh my god, man. Especially since I saw a rumor, and I'm kicking myself for reading the rumor mill about the movie.
Well, and I tell you what, I heard there's a lot of Star Wars boners going off right now. Everyone's really excited about it.
Let's just say a major character will die.
R2-3-2?
No. A human.
Who?
I can't say that. I'll tell you after.
Fucking spoiler. Where we talk about spoilers on SmackDown. Fuck it.
Spoiler alert. Supposedly they filmed a scene Han Solo dies.
Well, you can't. You gotta end it somehow, right?
I mean, the guys are already like 75 years old. I mean, by the time they release the next one, he's going to be pushing 80. I love seeing some Han Solo. You know, despite the fact that he's freaking 75 years old, you know, he still could probably kick more ass than most of us could. So, I'm alright with seeing me some Han Solo. But it looks like Harrison Ford got his wish, because Harrison Ford's wanted Han Solo to die. This is like the third or fourth movie now he's wanted Han Solo to die.
That son of a bitch.
I'm curious to see how they do it, because they have like a new evil Jedi kind of taking over for Darth Vader. And I think it's like Darth Vader's like grandson or something like that. Grandson or granddaughter.
The fact that we're talking about Darth Vader's grandson lets us know how fucking old we are.
I don't even care, man. I don't even care. But I think like the new Darth Vader in this movie is like a new, like I said, a new Darth Vader. It's like his grandson or something, and he's over on the dark side now, and he kills Han Solo.
All I gotta know is, have you watched Fast and Furious 25?
You mean Furious 96? No, not yet.
Yeah, the one that just happened.
Not yet. I saw the ending to it, and that's a tearjerker. I'm
so
man.
Sorry, but I did not expect you to say that right now.
It is, man. I didn't cry, but it was sad.
We were able to find it. I haven't seen it, though. My wife did see it. She said it was pretty good. Oh.
You know what, though, man? We grew up. I mean, despite the fact you're 7, 8 years older than me, we grew up on these movies. Fast and Furious.
Yeah, I didn't see them all, though.
I mean, me a little bit more than you. Because you were like 15 when the movie came out, and I was about 10 when the first one came out, so...
Keep on reminding me how old I am. By next week, I'll be 60. I mean, what the fuck?
Shit, I don't want to think about when you're 60, because I'll be in my 50s.
Yeah?
Actually, apparently there's going to be some meteor smacking in the Earth in 2039, so I won't even hit 50. So I'm okay with that.
They've been saying this shit every
I'm good. I'm good with a solid 48. That's good. It's not too old. You're still kind of young. Kind of young. I can deal with that.
I want to live till I'm 110 years old.
You know what, though? At the same time, man, there was something I read that our generation is going to become the first bicentennials. First generation to live to be 200.
You and me?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know. Medical advances or something through our lifetime? I don't know. I'd love to live to 200.
I'm going to get tired of your shit.
Miss Minimum Madness number 742,403.
Yeah, because you always got to number everything. This fucking guy.
This is our 700,000th week doing this show.
Alright, guys, on that note, it is 11:30, and I am gotta get up nice, bright, and early in the morning. Thank you for listening to my ugly voice and his ugly voice for the last couple of hours.
Whoa. Let's not be hasty here.
All I gotta say is, I can't even say it this year. It's so fucking depressing. Go Heat.
Go Yankees.
Yeah, go Heat. I guess go Marlins.
Go check me out on Twitter at John.
Before you continue, do you remember last year? I boycotted. I didn't watch any Marlins games out of protest. Yeah, so I'm very happy to watch baseball again. And they're fucking losing as usual. Alright, guys, have a great night. Scott Fishman interview's coming up. Thank you, Scotty. Or Scott, or whatever. I'm sorry if I said something wrong there. But, alright, ladies and gents.
Al's got to go get sleep. He's been up for almost 24 hours, guys.
Yeah,
follow me on Twitter at John MEM Radio. Follow Al at Al. Oh no, it's not that anymore.
At Alfonso M. Marimon.
He got rid of the Al Me Madness because you can't promote Main Event Madness in his Twitter handle anymore.
Oh Jesus Christ!
I haven't called you out on it yet. I was going to, and now I did.
I'll change it again. All right, guys, I'm
I'll
dying
shut up.
over here.
All right, I'll take off. Guys,
All right.
follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/main event madness. Also on Spreaker, spreaker.com/show/main event madness. Check us out on there. Got all the shows up there. maineventmadness.com. We're working on it. We'll get it back at some point. We're going to take a commercial break here, guys. When we get back, we got Scott Fishman. He posts for the Miami Herald. You guys are going to enjoy this interview. We got a lot of good stuff we talked about in there. Talking about WrestleMania weekend, the state of pro wrestling, NXT, a little bit more than that. It's about a half an hour interview, guys. So stick around. Got it, like I said, commercial break here, and then we're going to go into the Scott Fishman interview. So you're cruising around the internet looking for some entertainment. What if I told you there's a hard-hitting, fresh, and opinionated podcast out there covering everything from WWE and TNA to the NFL, the NBA, and MLB? Well, that's reality. Main Event Madness is here. Don't miss us every week on maineventmadness.com as well as on TuneIn Radio and Stitcher.com. Main Event Madness, our wrestling, your sports, simply madness. From the associate producer of The Wrestler, Evan Ginsberg, comes Evan Ginsberg's Legends TV, co-hosted by Steve Ludwig, featuring legends in sports, pro wrestling, and the arts. Lanny the Genius Poffo, Nicole Bass, Oscar from Men on a Mission, and million-selling music hitmakers like Martha Wash of the Weather Girls and Carol Douglas of Doctor's Orders fame appear regularly, as well as the greatest live indie musicians performing live in studio. Saturdays, 11 a.m. at legendstvnyc.com and madhousetv.com, archived 24/7. You missed the birth of your mother and father, don't you dare miss Evan Ginsberg's Legends TV. Looking for more than your average wrestling website? Looking for the fastest growing wrestling news site on the internet today? With quality news, results, and more. Wrestling News Report has everything you'd want in a wrestling website. Al Merriman has you covered with the latest and biggest stories of the day from all around the world of pro wrestling. Check them out today, WrestlingNewsReport.com. Hey you. Yeah, you. Looking for quality wrestling news with an international flair? Looking for results and news from around the world? Look no further than Wrestling-News.net. Wayne Daly and his crew have you covered from top to bottom, from WWE to TNA to the top independent companies from around the world. Check them out, Wrestling-News.net. Need a break? How about a rope break? Wrestling's rope break, that is. Don't miss every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's Wrestling's rope break. Joel O'Brien and Aaron Ramadanov give you a fresh and passionate insight on the latest happenings and news from the world of pro wrestling. It's Wrestling's Rope Break, Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, maineventmadness.com and Spreaker.com. Presented by Main Event Madness. All right, guys, we're here with Scott Fishman from the Miami Herald. Scott, once again, thanks for coming on with us. Really appreciate you taking the time out of your day, man, just to talk with us for a few minutes.
Yeah, I'm glad we got to set it up. I know it's been a couple weeks or months in the making.
Couple months in the making, yeah.
Schedule things.
Yeah, don't get me started on schedules. It's been a rough start to the year, like I mentioned to you. And thanks again for taking the time for us. Now, how long have you been with the Miami Herald now?
Well, technically, I'm not an employee of the Miami Herald.
Okay.
I contribute to the pro wrestling section. Actually, I started about a little over 10 years ago now. Can't believe it's saying that. But I started out as a kind of like an intern type thing,
Okay.
where I would come in and do like birth announcements, sports scores, things, grunt work. And the reward that, Jim Barcelone, he's the pro wrestling editor of the Herald.
Yep.
He's the one that provided me the opportunity right out of college to write about wrestling, which
Oh, wow.
I'm a big fan of. So that was a huge opportunity for me. But that was almost like the reward. So basically, you would do the other stuff, you do sports, local stories, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the reward would be being able to, write about wrestling. So that would be like the fun part of the job. So that started out, and then so that's been doing that basically. Contributing for like over 10 years now as far as the wrestling section is concerned.
Well, your answer to that took care of part of the first question I had. But how's the experience been? You said you've been with the Miami Herald for about 10 years now. How's that experience been for you so far?
Well, it's amazing. I'm appreciative to Jim for letting me contribute to the Herald wrestling section. It's been an amazing experience. When you're, I'm sure you can relate to this. When you're such a huge fan and you have such a passion for pro wrestling, and just being able to talk to a lot of the guys that you watch on TV, guys and girls that you see on TV and you respect, and really getting the stories behind the characters. When the cameras are off, and getting to appreciate them as people and being able to get their background. I mean, I'll never forget being able to get the opportunities to interview guys like Eddie Guerrero and the Macho Man in person at signings. And now I look back and I have a new appreciation for that I had that, because I know a lot of people won't ever have that opportunity to talk to either of those guys. And so that's just two examples of some big names over the years, and unfortunately that passed on. But over the years, and getting a chance to have some amazing experiences, going to so many big shows, WrestleManias, SummerSlams, Royal Rumbles, and like I said, just being able to talk to a lot of those personalities, and getting that access and being able to talk to them and on that kind of level is pretty amazing to be able to do that.
And just hearing you talk, you can hear the enthusiasm and the passion in your voice talking about it, and I'm kicking myself square in the ass, because I've been out of high school. Can't believe it's been 5 years, but 5 years already that I've been out of high school. It goes fast. Used to think you guys were lying when you guys used to say when I was a kid, oh, it goes fast when you get older, but it really does.
Yeah, really does.
But just kicking myself square in the rear, because doing like the podcasting and stuff and being able to do like reporting and stuff has been things I've wanted to do for years, but I was just too lazy when I got out of high school to go to college then. I mean, I know everybody says you can go back, but
yeah, I mean, it's something that's always there when you want an opportunity presents itself. Now it's kind of like a rough time to get into journalism in general. To be a reporter or any kind of field, or whether it's sports or news, or it's just because of the advent of social media and the internet has also been a double-edged sword for people, because anybody can write a blog, anybody can do that. So for someone like myself who actually went to school and got their degree in journalism and things like that, so that kind of like, oh man, these guys are my competition has now grown tenfold because of this. So it was almost like the worst time for me to graduate college was this time a couple of years ago, because this is all this stuff is happening now. So this is why I think it's important to brand yourself, which I see you guys have been doing, and just getting your word out, using the social media and building an audience as you move forward.
That's been the struggle for me, is that I get my good weeks and my bad weeks with with growing my social media following, and Al's been doing pretty good at it. He's gained probably about 4,000 followers on his Twitter since we started up the show last year. I'm up probably maybe 2,000. I mean, I wish I could have like the following. We joke and call him our producer, but Wayne Daly, who's the head reporter of Wrestling-News.net, this guy's followers have been, I think he's up to like 10,000 of them now, so it's...
Wow, yeah. Well, it's all about, just being consistent and being able to have your voice and being able to be heard and gaining that following. That's one of the important things, I think, with social media, is just having things. What is going to be something that's going to be interesting to somebody? It's not going to be like, oh, I just walked my dog. You got to be clever. You got to... there's a tricks to it. I mean, so it's just staying true to it and being able to stay consistent with it and being interesting. And it's always good to tweet and live tweet during, I think, wrestling shows, which I found to be great, is because that's when you have your core audience, because your fans are wrestling fans, so they're going to be on Twitter and social media during that point. So that's when your prime time way of getting listeners and readers or an audience in general, I think.
And I'm thankful. I mentioned Wayne before. He's the one who kind of got us going with doing all the shows and stuff. And I'm thankful to him, because I've realized, I was still, when I mentioned about going back to school, I was on the fence. What do I really want to do? I was like, do I want to do reporting? Do I want to do broadcasting? And ever since we started doing the show, that's why it's just reminded me, listening to you talk about your experiences, just how much I'm enjoying doing this. And I mean, I wish I could get paid for it. Eventually, maybe I will. Maybe I'll have time to go back to school. But it's just awesome to be able to do things that you really enjoy doing.
Building that reputation, and sometimes you're not going to be able to write about what you want to write about at first. Like I told you, doing birth announcements and sports scores and community news. Wrestling is kind of like, it's almost, I wouldn't say it's a kind of a hobby for me. Like it's not my full-time gig as far as paying the bills and whatnot, but it's something that I love and it's something that I appreciate. So it's a lot of fun, and it's also fun to, you know, when you've done it for as long as I have, I guess I could say as long as I have, even though there's people that have been doing it for 20 years, 30 years, you know, gyms have been around the block for a long time now. But, you know, just seeing performers grow and seeing what happened to them because, you know, years and years ago, one of my first interviews I ever got a chance to do was with MVP, who was wrestling down here as Antonio Banks, and he was making a name for himself on the independent scene. So I got to talk to him before he even made it to WWE, years before he even made it to WWE. So, and he appreciated the fact that I was getting the story out there, and, you know, he has such an interesting story, you know, coming from, you know, serving time in prison or jail, whatever you want to call it, and then, you know, making something of himself and you know, working hard and has such an inspiring story. And I'll never forget when the story actually ran, which I think the first time I talked to him actually ran in print, and he was just so thankful and so happy. He actually personally called me and thanked me for that. So that was, I'll never forget that moment. That was pretty cool. And just to have those, you know, your peers and those in the industry, you know, show respect and appreciation, it just makes it even cooler. And then another one that I think was starting out in Miami was Layla, who was the Miami Heat dancer. And right before, you know, during the Diva Search, the whole Diva Search thing happened almost 10 years ago now. It's hard to believe that, but yeah, almost 10 years ago. Also got a chance to talk to her right before she won the Diva Search and then after. So over the years, I've been able to, you know, talk to her, you know, every couple of years to get that update and just how she's developed over time. So that's another aspect that's really cool to see, is because you'll find yourself doing interviews with, you know, the same people, but at different points of their life, and just having all these great things happen and evolution, and it's really cool to see, I think.
Absolutely. Now, to switch gears a little bit, you know, you mentioned the Jim Barcelone, who we've actually had on our show back, God, I think it was like August of last year, I want to say we had him on. Now, do you work on a lot of projects with him? And if you do, how is it working with Mr. Barcelone?
Well, like, he's the guy that, he's the editor. He's the one I file stories to. I'll see him at, like, live events and things like that. Our communication, though, is mainly over the phone and email because, you know, we both have busy schedules. We both have our other things going on besides wrestling. So I will pitch him stories, and he'll give me, I mean, well, a lot of times he gives me the freedom to, you know, I've reached a point where, you know, you also got to earn it too, like earn the respect and way of doing it, like where as far as like I can now, you know, kind of have my own story ideas and follow through with it, and he'll be open with it more times than not. 9 times out of 10, he won't shoot it down like, oh no, you can't interview this person. The one thing I've learned from him is that, you know, you never want to say no, because even if it's, you know, some independent, you know, no matter how big the star is or how busy you are, you always want to take time, because you don't want to say no to anybody as far as, you know, interview opportunities, because you know, they may not come back again, because if you say no one time, they're going to be like, oh, this person doesn't want to do this, so why am I even going to go back to them? So you always want to be open to ideas, and that's what I've learned over the years, is to do that and to be open. So it's great working with him, because every week I'm learning something, whether it's about something I'm doing writing-wise when he's editing my stories, to just how to deal with people, to emailing and networking. So it's been a great experience working with him, and I'm very appreciative that he's given me this opportunity to work alongside him, because you know, he doesn't have to do that. You know, this is something which is amazing. He has the not free reign, but we are able to produce a lot of content and be able to have that and not have to worry about, oh, you know, you need this. Because one of the good things about the internet, I should say, is that, you know, you're not content with space. Like, you don't have to worry about, oh, this has to be only 500 words, or this can only be like 800 words. You have, almost free reign, I would say, to, you know, to really delve deep or have a long story here 9 times out of 10. But over the years, what I've learned is, you know, you want to keep it a little bit smaller, because there was a time where I was writing stories that were like 10, 11 pages, double spaced, and people will lose interest fast. So you got to be careful with that, especially now in today's day with things that's changing and evolving. So you always want to watch out for that. So that's the other part of, I'd say, the learning process moving forward. Is one thing I would say we probably would work on more, and he's been working on it, is developing multimedia, like using video. And you'll oftentimes seeing him post video interviews as opposed to written, which is kind of like, I see a transition going with that. Right.
Now, I got to ask you, I noticed that you went to WrestleMania. You were around in San Jose WrestleMania weekend. How was the experience like for you? I mean, what would you say? What would you? How did? Bleh. I had like 8 questions up in my head at the same time. Sorry about that. What did you like? What didn't you like as far as WrestleMania weekend go? Because I was there also, and it was my first time going to a WrestleMania. I was just
Wow, is it addicting though when you go that first time?
Oh my God.
I remember the first time I went, and I've gone ever since except 1 year.
I went to the NXT show Friday. I went with a friend of our show, Matt Brees, and we were at the NXT show the Friday, and I just looked at him like, "We doing this next year?" Oh yeah.
Yeah, right.
I mean, a few weeks.
It's really great. Like the first time I went was Orlando, and ever since that was like a 4-hour drive for me. So ever since that, I was like hooked. So it's almost like a destination, because places that you've never been or places that you never thought about going, but this is kind of like an excuse to go because. I mean, when you places like New Orleans, I would be like, okay, I'll go. I mean, that seems like a place that you would want to go, kind of like a touristy thing. But
Right.
as far as Houston, or that's some place that I'd be like, I wouldn't think of wanting to go there, but okay, I'll go because WrestleMania is there.
Right.
So it's just become one of those things where the destination you get caught up in it because it's literally like a wonderland of wrestling fans. Everybody has the same interest as you, kind of has the same fandom as you. And those couple of days, like everybody who's anybody that's in the wrestling business is there, and you'll run into them at different places and around town, and you'll see all the WrestleMania advertising, and it's just a fun place to be, I think, when you're going around there. So every year the experience is great for me, I think. Like you go to Access and you walk around. For me, the big thing for Access that I enjoy is going through that whole museum area.
Mm-hmm.
You see all the relics and all the different memorabilia and the wrestling coats and things like that all the wrestlers wore during their career. It also makes me wonder, like, oh man, like when are you guys going to have an actual Hall of Fame so people can go there and actually walk, around the building and actually have that happen? So I'm
Pretty sure I would probably
work out in the future, but this is kind of like a sense of what it would be like is just walking around. And every year they kind of have different things. Like this year we had the Macho Man set up in Ultimate Warrior, which is really awesome to walk through and see his different jackets and Macho Man's different stuff that he wore throughout his career. So that part for me is a lot of fun as far as Access is concerned. And I'm kind of bummed that I didn't get a chance to go to the NXT show because, I was in San Francisco still, so it was over an hour drive at that point for me to go. So I thought about going, but I didn't get a chance. But the energy of an NXT show, I'm sure you felt it, it's just unbelievable. Having gone to Full Sail, for
I'd love to go to Full Sail.
Or tapings, it's just an amazing feeling to be a part of, as I'm sure you saw.
And we were talking about it when we got back, and it's like, what would you? I asked him like, what was the best part? And I was like, WrestleMania or NXT? And he's like, honestly, it would probably be. And I agreed with him. WrestleMania was a 1A. NXT was honestly like a 1B. Like that atmosphere was just. You could feel the passion from the fans, and you could.
The size of the show, and keep in mind these are you knew who was going to be on the show as far as the names.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't even know what kind of matches you were going to see. You just knew the product was going to be good because you're used to seeing it every week on television. So that's of course how it's going to be when you do the live event. But this is one WrestleMania. This is your first WrestleMania, and this is the one you haven't been to. Then this is the one you want to go to for your first one. I think it was just such a great WrestleMania this year. I think. So this was a good one for you to go to for your first one, I think.
30 and 30. Well, actually, I met up. We have a sister show, I guess you could call it, Wrestling's Rope Break, and we met up with the host of that show, Joel O'Brien, over in San Jose. And actually, he's gone. He said this was his 4th WrestleMania, and the one he missed since he started going was last year. So he said a bunch of times that he was,
which I was okay missing actually in retrospect, because that one was not as good as others. I think.
And it's actually funny because I had a lot of people, because we bought the tickets the end of December, which I wish we could have decided earlier. It was kind of a spur of the moment. We were just talking about WrestleMania, like some of the early rumors or something came out. And I joked with him, I'm like, you want to go to WrestleMania? Sure, let's do it. Wait, what? Okay, I guess.
Where are you guys based at?
Al's in Miami, Florida. I'm
okay.
I'm up in by Syracuse, New York. So
okay.
So that's what I was gonna say. It's kind of, I had a lot of people point out to me, you're going all the way to California for WrestleMania, yet you didn't go to the one in New York City 2 years ago? Yeah, pretty
I was
much.
going to say that, or even Madison Square Garden, WrestleMania 20. I don't know at that point of your life where you're at, but
That was
another one, I think.
That was part of the gray area, I call it. I started watching about 96, 97 when I was a real young kid, and I ended up moving with my mother, and she was really like against wrestling, like forbid me from watching it. So I got out of it probably about 98, 99. So I pretty much missed everything from the Attitude Era, and I didn't get back into it about 10 years ago. So thank God for YouTube and all that other stuff.
Go back and look on and watch all the stuff you missed. But it's different when you're watching it now than being in, seeing that Monday Night War when you were literally watching Nitro and Raw at the same time and switching channels back and forth before the age of DVR and social media, because you wanted to find out what was going on in the other show.
Towards the end of it, you had to love life if you were one of the people who had one of the newer TVs that had picture-in-picture back then.
Oh, picture-in-picture, yeah. I always wanted one of those, but never got a chance to have that. But yeah, that's another outlet where someone will have two televisions hooked up somehow and kind of rig it so they can watch both shows somehow.
I don't know if it's illegal to say this, or not to say it, but what I was going to talk about, I used to love it. Like they had like the black boxes, like the cable boxes back in the day.
Scramblers, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. There was a time or two where I went to my friend's house and we watched the pay-per-view at his house.
I used to love it. I used to get all the pay-per-views and everything for free. It's awesome. And I don't know. The guy, like I said, we joke and call him producer. He's listening. He's probably going to yell at me for saying that, but oh well. Now you're in Miami, right?
Yes.
Now, Alex Rodriguez, third baseman from the New York Yankees, that's his hometown. Are you familiar with anything that went on with him, with the season ban and all that?
No, actually, no.
Okay. Never mind with that. Let's move on. We were talking about NXT and the atmosphere with that. How do you feel about NXT? Do you think eventually it could be a brand on par with or Raw or SmackDown, or do you think it'll always be like either an asterisk because it's a developmental territory? Do you think eventually it could build up to be its own brand?
I mean, I think the argument could be made that it is its own brand at this point, with having its own merchandise and the television show, and then Triple H made the plan that they're going to go actually on tour fully by the end of this year or next year. So I think that alone shows, where the direction they want to go with this company. They want to make, they want to put it on par with the other brands. But for me, I think it's good if they also keep it as a developmental brand, because you want to have a place where you're developing talent and whatnot, but also, it's almost like it's a great middle ground for them. So putting it on the level of a Raw or SmackDown, I think it's good to have this sort of middle ground territory, but it's not unheard of. I mean, you hear every time Raw and SmackDown happen, even pay-per-view, that you have NXT chants. People are becoming more aware. And it's amazing to look back at the last couple of years, because all this has been going on like in a matter of a couple of years, not even like 2 years or so, 2 or 3 years. And look how much it's grown already. So it's just amazing to think about what is this brand going to be like in the next couple of years as it moves forward and, becomes bigger and people become more aware of it. It's going to be a delicate balance, though, as far as talent and keeping talent in NXT to get people interested in watching, and then also being able to pluck them to go to WWE, to go to the main roster. So it is, in my eyes, it is a third brand at this point, because it's interesting to see that a lot of the guys on NXT will have merchandise and T-shirts and things like that, but there's some on WWE programming that actually, don't have their own merchandise or haven't had their own merchandise. So it's an interesting time in WWE, I think, as far as developmental is concerned, because now it's no longer a stigma. Like, you're going to go down to NXT, that's the developmental.
It's not a bad word anymore.
There, but I think guys like Alex Riley, Tyson Kidd, they've shown that, you can reinvent yourself and go up to the main roster. I mean, I think in Alex Riley's case, I think it'll be a matter of time before he gets back up there, but Tyson Kidd's the perfect example of someone who, was sent down there, and he kind of like perfected his character in a certain way. They liked
He's doing a good job with it too,
because they rewarded him. Now he's the tag team champion. So I think he set an example. He raised the bar as far as and changed the perception of what NXT is like.
Yeah, and he's doing a good job too, because he was a blah character when he was with the Hart Dynasty. They kind of make him just, he was trained by the Harts, and that was his character. But now he's just playing this slimy.
When you look at guys like our veterans, like Brian Kendrick or Rhino, it's a new opportunity for them to introduce themselves to a new audience and kind of like put a point in their career where they're working with the young up-and-comers. So it not only benefits them because it gets them out there again and almost maybe even reinvents them, but also gives the guys there necessary experience of working with someone who has experience on the main roster and knows what it's like to be successful.
Now, I'll put you on the spot. I'm going to put you on the spot about something else, but that'll be before we wrap up. If, say, guys like Shelton Benjamin, Carlito, or even Bully Ray, who's been rumored to be back, would you rather them be in NXT or on the main roster?
I mean, it depends on what kind of way they want to introduce them. I think at this point, for like Team 3D, I think it would be good to have them on NXT working with the tag team division right now. But for nostalgia purposes, I could see them on WWE because of the level of the level of star power they are. So I see a little bit of both. But I actually would see them on NXT, and they don't. Their training academy is not that far away. So maybe there could become some working relationship with the Team 3D Academy and the NXT territory, Performance Center. But they have a lot of knowledge to give, and working with them, I'm sure would be great, beneficial for the tag teams in NXT. So for them, it'd be interesting to see how would they do in that kind of setting.
Yeah, and I lost where I was going with that. I'm sorry. I had a comment and it's like, there, and it was gone. Now, really quick, I got one more question. Or do you want me to? Do you got another couple minutes?
Yeah, go ahead.
Now we're talking about NXT, but how do you feel about the state of pro wrestling as a whole? Do you think it's on the rebound? People saying, "Oh, wrestling." Do you think that it could be another boom coming? Because I see all these people saying like wrestling's dead or online, and all these people saying, "Oh, wrestling's dying," and then you go to something like WrestleMania weekend or WrestleMania week, and you're around everybody, and you just see whether it's people who are working, whether it's just random people in the street, and they're all pumped up. They're all wearing wrestling shirts. They all make a comment. They're all, talking about it. And it's like, how can people think wrestling's dead? And then you just see thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people that are all enthused by it and excited by it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, if anything, now is one of the best times to be a wrestling fan because, quite frankly, there's so many options with technology being the way that it is. You can watch a lot of independent companies, reputable ones, are on television, whether it's online or they have their own local television deal. It's almost like a territory days in a way because they'll have a regional show, and a lot of the companies, Pro Wrestling Syndicate has a show, and all these other companies, Pro Wrestling Gorilla is big in California, so and you have internet pay-per-view now, becoming a big thing. So there's so many options for the wrestling fan, and that's not even counting what's on TV these days because you have Lucha Underground, WWE Network, you have TNA, you have New Japan. So you have all these other companies that you can watch. So there's no excuse if you're a fan of something, of a niche, kind of type of wrestling, form of wrestling. There's a way of getting it if you are looking hard enough, or you don't even have to look that hard. But there's a place for you to watch and enjoy what you want to enjoy by exploring, and seeing what's out there. And I think that's what's the great thing about wrestling right now, as it's been in years, is there's so many opportunities for work for a lot of the guys, and that's why you never understand why fans are on Twitter or things like that, or like, I wish TNA would go out of business, or this company's going out of business. Like, why would you even say that? Why would you even want to be so negative?
And then like 3 weeks later, they're
like these companies are needed, for the business to succeed. Because what would you do without TNA or Ring of Honor? I mean, would you just want to watch WWE all the time? And where would WWE get their talent? Because yes, they have the Performance Center in NXT, but so many other guys have come from Ring of Honor, and there's a lot of great talent in TNA too. So, and then after their WWE career, or even before their WWE career, they go from the TNA. So, I think, if anything, I think the wrestling is on an upswing when it comes to popularity, and I think a great example was WrestleMania, like you said, just everyone being a part of it and all the buzz that it's created. I think it's a positive right now in 2015 with the wrestling business.
Well, Wayne just passed along something to me. I'll get your thoughts on it. Apparently, House of Hardcore just got an international TV deal with the Fight Network in Canada. So even that.
See, so there you go. So that's the same network that I think TNA runs on. So that's interesting.
Now, speaking of TNA, did you see that there's something that I guess Dixie wants to Dixie wants to make a TNA network or something like that, or they want to do their own version of the WWE network or something like that.
Really? I don't know. That's the first I've heard of it.
I saw something over the
say
weekend
that?
about it or something. There's something over the weekend I saw that TNA is getting like more and more interested, I should say, in doing like their own network. But I don't know if they'd be able to draw it, let alone charge the price that WWE charges for it, especially since they're not even putting on pay-per-views to begin with now.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see that. I mean, they have a lot of they have a big fan base aside from the national, but also international with the UK and British boot camp and things like that. But I don't know if they're at a point right now as far as they've only been around for a little over 10 years of having their own network. I mean, New Japan has its own because look at the archives spanning years and years, decades. Same for WWE and just the tape library. So it would be interesting where they would go with that kind of business model if they would do a TNA network. But you could argue the amount of times that TNA is on Destination America that you could say that Destination America is a TNA network.
That is true. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is the other part where I said I was going to put you on the spot. The 2016 Royal Rumble is going to be in Orlando, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Are you going?
It is one of my favorite events of the year, so I'm going to hopefully go. It's only a 4-hour drive for me. And Orlando has become such a hot spot for wrestling these days. I mean, the Performance Center, TNA, and all the independent groups that run out of there. So that is definitely a good point. It'll be interesting to see what kind of NXT talents will be making their way in the Royal Rumble match itself, because the Performance Center is only like a 20-minute drive from there.
Mm-hmm.
So, that'll definitely be one of my points that I want to make. Destinations that I want to make as far as shows next year.
No, wasn't the Hall of Fame, if WWE actually built one, wasn't it rumored to be like at Orlando or?
Yeah, there was.
Weren't they even saying Universal?
There was talk about the City Walk there and Universal, where there was a NASCAR. There was talk about the NASCAR restaurant being there, the NBA City, that they were going to do it there next to the Hard Rock. So I don't know how they're with the kind of update. I think it's going to become one of those things where just one day we're going to get like some sort of news thing, like, hey, tomorrow we're going to make this huge announcement, and then
it'll be like the WWE Network was.
Yeah, exactly.
Like 2 years in the making, and
one
then
of those things where we think they're not working on it, but there is people that are working feverishly about putting this together. It's just getting the logistics together before they can make a formal announcement. I think that's the case. So with Macho Man in, with Bruno Sammartino in, I mean, all these names that we thought weren't going to happen in the Hall of Fame actually are now. So it's become a point where let's have a physical place where people can go to actually enjoy the legacies that these guys have left.
And that's more of another reason why I've been telling Al was supposed to have moved this year, but I'll be moving to I believe around Fort Myers next year. So seeing if they actually put a Hall of Fame in Orlando, and it sucks that the Royal Rumble is going to be there because I'm not going to be there till probably a month or so after the Rumble. So I'll be just missing the TV swing that they'll be doing.
Yeah, well, actually, there was talk about rumors of Orlando having another WrestleMania. So you might be coming in at the right time.
There we go. Good, 3-4 hours from Fort Myers, I think Orlando is. So
Fort Myers, like 2.5.
That works for me. I can deal with that.
Well, at least to Tampa. So maybe Orlando, it would be like a 4-hour.
Hey, I could still do a 4-hour. That's better than a 12-hour. What's that?
Definitely then flying to California.
I was just going to, yeah. Good old 12-hour travel day across 3 or 4
with the layovers and everything.
Layovers weren't that bad. That was the surprising part. They're only like an hour. It was just, there was like I think it was 4 hours. We had a layover in Chicago. It was like 4 hours from Chicago to San Francisco. San Francisco was...
interesting that when you go there, it's like, oh, I can't wait to get there. And then when you're on your way back, you're like, oh, no. I'm on my way back home, back to reality.
That was the Tuesday, because we stayed an extra day, and I just remember I was just laying there like, why are we here? Mania's over, Hall of Fame's over, Access is over, Raw's over. This is so depressing. And it was
then you can go sightseeing, I guess.
We did. We ended up going up to San Francisco, seeing the Golden Gate Bridge and stuff, which neither one of us had ever seen in person. So that was fun to see.
Yeah, I did in reverse though. I actually went to San Francisco first, and then I went to San Jose. But yeah, that's one of the good things about going to these things. You want to have a day or two where you can go sightsee. You don't want to be wrestling all the time. You want to actually There's a reason you're going, of course, but there's also, you want to take advantage of it while you're there to see the sights and the landmarks.
You never know if and when you'll be able to have those opportunities to do it again.
Exactly, yeah.
Which is, I had so many people laughing at me. Oh, you're saying it's a once-in-a-lifetime trip. You're only 23. Okay, well, just because I'm young doesn't mean that it still may not only or be a once-in-a-lifetime trip.
Yeah,
but
you never know. Life can throw you a curveball, and you might not be able to do anything. I don't know. That's why my whole thing with traveling in general is you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. So you want to take advantage of today and everything that's out there. There's a whole world out there to see.
But, all right, man. Well, we went a little bit over that 20 minutes I told you, but I appreciate you sticking around for me, man. It was a really fun interview. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day, man.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Good talking to you.
Not a problem, man. Thank you again. We'll talk soon.
All right. Take care. Bye.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Miss a part or all of today's show? No problem. Head over to maineventmadness.com where you'll find today's show as well as every show in our history. So once again, for all of us here at Main Event Madness, I'm John Curry. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you back here next time. Have a good one, everybody. So long.